despair. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. They over the hilltop, I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot, they'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop, they'll kill us right here. Living in death's den, run through the best winds, storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in, whatever gets us over, whatever helps us win, whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids, as long as they get through it, don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you, I'll take all that death gives. I'm into this war ends, in memory of dead friends, in hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome, nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt, fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Show me a safe place, does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare, every kind you can get. What you can't get is real love or fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stone now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. The illness is prevalent, natives malevolent. Hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye, say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rise. The sun mean what when it's blinding your eyes? Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz. The satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more. The passion of how we smashing what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than just sage. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed, she getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale of fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep parts. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, the soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war, take over or take part. Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I survive, find this lands for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, straight bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence. Dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next. Open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving. What is poppin', people? Welcome back to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill. You can call me Shy. We are back in the building. We got stuff to cover. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Have a little respect for your surroundings. Wipe your feet. Hit the like button. Serve yourself up something cold. If you're sober, here's a hug for you. Smoke them if you got them. If you got a bad attitude, stay out the chat. All right? No ignorant. This is a no ignorant zone. Salutes. We got some stuff to cover, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's get it. Right? Make them likes match them concurrent viewers. I appreciate y'all. Salutes. All right, we're gonna get through this chat real quick. Right, shout out Ivan on the check-in. Appreciate you, sir. Shout out Peter Hassad. Shy, what up, though, my boy? Salutes to you. Hello from California, the Tales of the Central Coast. Salutes to you. Velez 408, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Cortez was popping. Manalia was good. Al Gore, salutes. Guillermo, I like how Shy puts his own music on his as his own hype man. It's truly Shy's world. When you log in vertical integration, I want every piece of it. It has to be mine. Salutes. Shout out Rilo on the check-in. I appreciate you. Saludos to Zoraida. Hope you're having a great day. Dago Life, this is dope. Is this you? Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Shout out Dago Life on the check-in. JFL, salutes. Damn, JFL did the Peter. He said hi. I get it. It's Zoraida. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Better than what Pete did to me, where Pete come in and said hi to Jay first. JFL said what's up to Zoraida first. But, you know, I'll take it, though. It's Zoraida. I'm okay with that. We good with that. All right? Just don't do what Peter did. Salutes. Old 30 North, what's good? Salutes to you, sir. Eddie Jimenez, I appreciate you. Angel Cruz, salute desde Brooklyn. NY, mi gente. Salutes to Brooklyn. I appreciate you. Shout out Dago Life. That was a dope song. The last one is called Restlessness, off of my album called Vigil. Vigil. Salutes. Find it on YouTube. Matter of fact, I'll link you right here. Drop the link in the chat. Copy. Bam. It's all good, JFL. I'm just talking my shit. Guillermo say, hey, Shot, did you have time to get me that list of spots to check out in downtown? No, sir. It wasn't on my mind. When's your trip? I told you, let me know when you got a little time before you coming out here, and I'll see what I can find.
So if that's soon, then for sure. I say mess with the weed spots and shit in Wicker Park. Go to Shativa. Enjoy that shit. Bobby D, salutes my brother from a different mama. Salutes to you. All right, man. Shout out Bobby D. Shout out Albert Flores, Master Khalik. There you go live. Salutes to you guys. Guillermo Rivas, salutes to you guys. Angel Cruz, welcome. All right, 32 concurrent viewers, 16 likes. I will continue throughout the night to ask for likes because when I ask for them, I get them. And those likes help with the algorithm. They help this channel grow, and this channel is very deserving of growing. All right, salutes to you. Guillermo said Mexican Independence Day. Bet. Make sure you get in the Discord too, Guillermo. For those that need it, here's the Discord invite. If you've already been blocked from out of there, good luck. Shout out Gino. Gino, we gifted 10 memberships the other day. You happen to be one to get it, so salutes to you. I appreciate you. We'll probably be doing a members only live at some point tomorrow. Salutes. Man, Aaliyah said you got to check in with Shy first. No check-ins for me, bro. No check-ins for me. Sometimes check-outs, but no check-ins. Salutes. All right, man. So, what are we going to talk about today? What's the elephant in the room today, huh? The elephant in the room today is that Ocran Leaks speaks. All right? So, we're going to be talking to the Deli guy today. For those that know, the Deli guy is the AI voice that Ocran uses on his videos for the English translation. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to go out there the 16th as well, but I might have jury duty. Yeah, jury duty. I don't even want to talk about it. Salutes. All right. So, finally he speaks. It seems, what's today? What is today? The 16th, right? Yep, today's the 16th. It seems he shot this episode on the 3rd of August. Roughly, I don't know, 10, 15 days from the time that it went down. From the time that MAYO got snatched up. And he spoke about it on the 3rd under a lot of pressure. He said he had a lot of things lined up already, but people were putting pressure on him to speak on it. But he also wanted to corroborate his information and make sure that he was talking the right shit, So he didn't want to jump out head first. But now he's here with the information. We're here to break it down. Again, he's using AI translation, so we may lose a couple of things between that AI translation and my translation of it. Also, on YouTube, what he puts up is a preview of a long-form content. So at some points, it just cuts to another piece, and the story ain't coherent. I'll make sure to try to clean those moments up and let you know that they just occurred. But with that said, we're going to get into it. Hundreds up in the chat. Let's get this party started. I appreciate y'all for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we on and
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Popping. Let's get it. Hold on. I might got it sped up. I got it mad loud. Lower the speed. No, the speed's normal. All right.
Hey, my friends.
What up,
Here we are
friends?
once again with another episode of your podcast.
Shout out Peter Hassaj. He said, I'm tired of asking where the hustlers at. Time is money and shy time is not forever. That's a fact. Somebody from yesterday owes me a grip for wasting my time. Salutes. I appreciate you, Peter. Thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat. Let's get it. The Deli Voice guy is in the building today. Shout out Alec on the check-in. Shout out Chucky Chingong on the check-in. Salutes. Appreciate y'all. I agree with Rilo. Please like and subscribe. Let's get it.
It's a pleasure for me to be here with you, sharing these intriguing topics from this environment. And as you can see, there's always something new to tell. Sorry for not releasing it as soon as I got the information, but you already know that here we try to confirm everything we are told before we release the information. And also, we already had other episodes planned that we were going to release. For example, I have the episode about the chore, which I recorded a while ago. But with all of this, I haven't been able to upload them. Remember, whenever important events like this happen, we first need to investigate and ensure that the information is real. And time pass until we have everything ready. The same thing happened this time. Well, I have to tell you, the day before this video is scheduled to be released, it is August 15th, and it was Mr. IAG's birthday. This also marks 8 years since the mishap he and his brother faced in the beautiful port of Vallarta.
I don't know what he's talking about. IAG, I ain't thinking about it right now. I'm thinking, y'all let me know if you can clear that up. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Peter again for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Ocran with the English voiceover. Salutes Ryak on the check-in. Felix Reyes, salutes to you. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. Velez said, what the F is that voice? That's the deli guy, man. It's the deli guy. All right, he's here to tell you everything about what Ocran Leaks is talking about. Salutes. Alex said, mini leak. Hit the like button. Absolutely. There you go. Ivan Archivaldo Guzman. It was his birthday on the 15th. Oh, happy birthday. Salutes. Let's get it.
My intention was to release an episode on that topic. But as you, my dear audience, requested, you already know what today's episode is about. So I hope you enjoy it. Today, I bring you an episode about the events that
He's bringing you an episode about the events. All right?
just occurred on Thursday, July 25th. First of all, I'm sorry because I always try to research and verify facts so I don't show you false information or anything that you may see on many other channels that are only dedicated to spreading.
What? That sounded like some Parappa the Rapper video game shit or some Tekken shit right there.
Anything that you may see information or anything that you may see on many other channels that are only dedicated to spreading lies. Here we want to show the reality, what really happens. But today, well, this issue is grabbing all the spotlight, since obviously it is.
All right, let's salute the chef. The chef picked his team. Puro gente del Mayito Flaco, Alavergs. All right, bro. Whatever you say. It's been 8 years. Yeah, time flies, bro. Time definitely flies. Make sure y'all hit that like button. 49 concurrent viewers, 24 likes.
It is something historic in the Ocran. All really happens. But today, well, this issue is grabbing all the spotlight. Since obviously it is something historic in the Ocran and undoubtedly the event of the century. And since you guys are asking me a lot, I'll try to give you my opinion and also tell you what I could
The event of the century, I agree. Well, I don't know about the century, but when it comes to criminality, if the way this heist is looking, the way it was pulled off, they killed that shit, boy. They did that shit like a movie. They're going to make movies out of this shit. Shout out Guillermo. These are horrible vocals. He should have chosen Morgan Freeman. That would be top tier. We are here to talk about the events that took place. Fernando, these dudes have to have a cousin that speaks English that can translate. I hate that translation so much that I would do it for free. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it for free. So you guys got the deli guy. Salutes. I don't think Ocran is mini league like many people do, although I do think he is or was with the Damaso family for sure. So that's a fact, Fernando. I feel the same. Bet.
investigate with my sources. There's a flood of...
Shout out J-Fam on the check-in. Appreciate you. We're gonna talk about something in the Discord, y'all, that has something to do with this voiceover shit. I'm gonna show y'all something. Salutes. 5425. Hit them likes.
Information with many hypotheses. Try to give you my opinion and also tell you what I could investigate with my sources. There's a flood of information with many hypotheses and theories about what happened.
Yep.
Everyone is speculating.
Yep.
No one wants to be left behind.
Nope.
So everyone starts saying a bunch of nonsense.
Yep.
Information in these cases takes time to come out. And it's released little by little and only flow in close circles. That's why I take my time with the episodes, so I don't tell you things that aren't true.
Bunch of
because
bullshit.
there is no point in being the first to say something only for it to turn out to be a lie.
Facts.
You end up looking worse.
Facts.
And that's not my style. So I'd rather avoid being like those crazies who have channels and talk just to talk without knowing anything about how this is. I also want to make a clarification because I know many of you follow the Instagram account Bien Velico Zo1, and he
Bien Velicos 01 is the channel that I got the phone call from that was corroborating MAYO's account of what happened that I translated. That's the Instagram that came from. So that's who he's talking about right now. The Instagram that came from.
posted
Shout
on
out
his
to
story.
Albert Flores for putting me up on that that Instagram channel, and for pushing the content forward on a regular. Salute to you. Fernando said that AI translations are just not there yet. I've been seeing them on Instagram as captions, and they're absolutely awful. Oh, I watch misspelled shit all day and lyrics that ain't the lyrics that you thought they were up there and all kind of shit. It's no good. All right, hit the like button, y'all.
Stories that I told him. Velico Zoification, because I know many of you follow the Instagram account Bien Velico Zo1, and he posted on his stories that I told him to post something saying that both sides were recruiting people. That is 100% false. I never told him any of that. I like things to be clear and as they are. If I say something, I stand by it. But those messages weren't from my account. Someone used the podcast's logo and pretended to be me, but well. So now let's analyze the events and everything that has happened.
I take all of that shit with a grain of salt. I mean, if you were the dude that said something in the messages and you changed your mind, a great way to get out of it is to say somebody used my logo and my appearance. You know what I'm saying? They disguised themselves as me.
So you understand the context of these unprecedented events. Thursday, July 25th, year 2024. Joaquin Guzman Lopez and Ismael Zambada Garcia arrived in a private plane, King Air 200, a twin-engine turboprop to Santa Teresa Airport, very close to the city of El Paso, Texas, coming from a city in northern Mexico. Here's a video of the plane arriving. On their arrival, they were greeted by a large group of police officers and agents from different security agencies, such as the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Central Intelligence Agency, ATF, HCI, and others. Later, they were arrested and taken into federal custody. Here, I'm showing you the video of them getting off the plane.
The chef said, todos saben que Iván se va para el DF, Mexico, ya ni está en Culiacán. Okay, what else, bro? Tell us the whole plan, bro. Santana said Mini Leak is charging to watch the full video. Why is that funny, though? Huh? Content creators are not allowed to, people that entertain you and give you the information that you're looking for shouldn't get paid? What's the joke? Got this funky free music, hopefully, because I got super clapped. I got super clapped for the Nipsey Hussle stream yesterday. I got clapped all over the place for that shit. Copyright. Like button, yo.
Now listen to me carefully. In cases like this, they usually never tell the truth, just as it was officially. But the reality always leaks out unofficially. Now.
And that's another thing. Everybody thinks that just the truth is going to be told by their side. My side tells the truth. Who are the people that follow my story that I want it to be, they tell the truth. Everybody else is lying. Now, everybody lying. And don't nobody want you to know what happened. Nobody. I should charge, boy. Guillermo Rivas, honestly, the feds have been having a tough time lately. I wouldn't be surprised if this whole thing is a public relations stunt. That's a lot, bro. MAYO's fate as a public relations stunt? I don't know. They took control of the airplane. Oh, shit. Who took control of the airplane, Top G? There was a... What'd they do? They did like the Under Siege. They did the Steven Seagal. Was it? Who took control of the plane?
I'm going to tell you everything that's been said about this incident.
Now you let me. I just hope that, you know, Ocran Leaks information don't contradict all you guys in the chat that know for sure and what happened and what's happening. You know what I mean? We'll see though. You're gonna have to call him a liar if that's the fact.
All right. So first, it was said that Joaquin and Yoma both surrendered.
Okay, he's going to be calling MAYO Yoma. Maybe it's something that I should do on the channel too. He's probably trying to avoid ad suitability issues and demonetizations. So when he says Pacho, he's talking about Chapo. When he says Yoma, he's talking about MAYO, I guess. Manalia said, I don't know, man. Something tells me MAYO runs ish. We wouldn't even imagine. Yeah, I mean, he got this little slab of concrete room with a little toilet in the corner. He running that shit right now. 030 said Chuck Norris took over the airport. It's quite possible, 030. With the direction that all of these conspiracy theories have gone, it's, you know, don't be surprised it was Spider-Man. Yeah, just like Ocran is narco. Fernando Ortiz said, whenever you catch a big fish of any type, it's a publicity stunt. Why wouldn't you use your big catch to your favor? Yeah, it's even if you didn't catch him. Even if he happened to land in your lap, we're going to use this as a stunt. It's the you guys got to understand, the opportunistic moment. The moment, for instance, Trump could have got up and he could have just ran off, but he seized that moment for public relations, for the state of the business. Forget the state of the union, for the state of the business, right? Not just him. It's just opportunism. Something happens, and you take advantage of that opportunity, and you push that shit in your favor. You know, salutes. Michael Moreno said he's getting released. All right, man. Show us the paperwork. You got it? Put it in the link. Let me see it. Right? Show me the pictures of him sitting on your porch after he gets released. But nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. That's my point. We can speculate. They might want him released. And this place, Mexico, might want him released. But we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. None of y'all knew that he got kidnapped. Everybody said he turned himself in. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe y'all, man. Y'all stories change as the story changes. You know what I mean? Your speculation changes as the truth comes to light. Like, come on, man. All of y'all. Not just one or the other. The story is fishy. It's always going to be fishy when there's countries involved and you know, security forces and different, you know, branches of this, that, or the other. Porque aquí Culiacán ya tiene tiempo que Iván se fue. Tienes meses afuera. El güero Joaquín ya le andaba con Quen. El que mataron en la junta es lo que sabe aquí en el rancho. All right, there's his answer. That was his answer to me and Sorada's sarcasm. All right, his answer in Spanish is basically that dude hasn't, Ivan hasn't been in Culiacan for a while now, for months, and that Joaquin was with Quinn, and that's pretty much it. You think you'll ever make a collab video with the twins in Ocran? That would be awesome. Who knows? Anything's possible. Top G said false flag. Not impossible. Santana said Annabelle Hernandez been saying that Mayo got kidnapped. She even exposed Mini Leaks' real voice. Annabelle Hernandez has been saying that Mayo got... All right, but why are you yelling at us? Same with the Rat twins. Okay? But all your other heroes, are they rats though too? Do they get the same treatment? Are you a Vicente guy? Do you swing off Vicente's nuts? Well, he ratted too. Are you going to talk about him, Santana? I don't think you're one of those fair guys. You're a team guy. Fuck out of here. Ed Calderon, too. Mayo Zambada and Chapo are rats. Nobody likes to talk about that or that they like little girls. No, especially guys like Santana. They pick and choose who they call rats and pedos. So said, gracias por esa información. Yo no sabía. Salutes to Chef 408. Gino said he's going to... unalive in American prison. He's never getting out. No chance. And that's something that he didn't want to, that's according to Mini Leak and many other people, or Ocran Leaks and many other people, they, that was his worst fear. That he wasn't gonna negotiate or put value on going to prison for nothing. He wasn't gonna, but there he is. Well, yeah, bro, our government lies to us all the time. They don't have a good track record of being transparent. Nah, that's all they do is lie to us. The news lies to us. Everybody's saying what they want. Annabelle Hernandez le echa mucha salsa a los tacos. No creo la mitad de lo que dice. Annabelle Hernandez is cool, but she gets paid to speak. She speaks out her ass a lot of the times. All right, there we have it. We're caught up. Yeah, I said your heroes, bro. Your heroes.
Rendered to the federal agents. Leaks
all right, he's
out
gonna go through the
unofficially.
theories now.
I'm going
hit the like button, man. We have 50%, man. Let's get this to 75% likes to concurrent viewers. Come on, man.
to tell you everything that's been said about this incident. All right. So first, it was said that Joaquin and Yoma both surrendered to the federal agents based on a prearranged agreement, and that they had been carrying out these negotiations for quite a while, since Yoma has health problems and wanted to retire from the business to rest, and because of that, a deal had been made with the United States government. It was also mentioned that the pilot made a mistake and landed at an airport on the United States side instead of landing on the Mexican side. It was also said that Yoma and Joaquin were arrested when they tried to board the plane. Seeing it, it looked like they were in U.S. territory as if they were in Mexico. Another version is that they were...
The accident, y'all, the pilot messed up, bro. And
arrested in Mexico and...
That's the ghost. The ghost is the pilot. That's the guy we haven't heard about at all. Not even a little bit.
Plane. Seeing it, and Joaquin were arrested when they tried to board the plane. Seeing it, it looked like they were in U.S. territory as if they were in Mexico. Another version is that they were arrested in Mexico and immediately taken to the United States. Another one is that they boarded the plane in Hermosillo, Sonora, along...
See, Santana, you're showing your intelligence now. I'm not defending the twins. I'm defending the truth. I'm asking if the twins are only rats or are any of your other cartel heroes rats too, because you be swinging off the twins' nuts. But how about everybody else? So that's not me defending the twins. They can defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? See how you sound just like every other dumb fuck that comes in here and argues with me about that shit. You know what I'm saying? You're defending the twins. I'm not. I'm defending the truth. Because you guys pick and choose, okay? If you're Tío Chapo or your Tío Mayo, if they like little girls, you don't want to talk about that part. But if somebody else is into little girls, you want to talk about that part, right? If your primo hermano is a rat, you don't want to talk about that part. But if somebody else that you don't like, that you think's pussy is rats, you want to talk about it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not defending the twins. You know? So, you know, you can't even type without typing in caps. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Look at you getting mad. He's triggered. You're fucking lame. All right, I gave you attention. See, you didn't deserve any attention. I was trying to have a real conversation with you, but some of you motherfuckers are just too stupid. I ran into Annabelle Hernandez. Let me tell you, she's crazy. She reminds me of an overzealous detective who won't admit she's wrong. That's that confirmation bias, man. She want to be right at all costs. She's willing to lie about it. That's how Santana and guys like him are. They're willing to lie just to be right. You know? It is what it is. Fernando said, family and friends don't speak with the truth. Why would anyone think the government be straightforward to us? It never will. The ghost is the DEA. Salutes. No, but the DEA showed face on that plane. And we've heard about the DEA. We ain't heard about that damn, what's his face? Don't get mad. I'm not going to disrespect the boyfriend rat twins. Santana, you're a cuck. You're a man that likes to watch his woman with another man. That's how I see what you, this is what I get from what you type. You know what I'm saying? You're a cuck. You know, you like typing in all capitals and using emojis and talking bullshit, but you're not smart enough to have the conversation I just had. I just said I wasn't defending the twins. But you can only say you're defending the twins because you're not smart enough to say anything else. Because you're a cuck. That's what you are. Right? That's what you are. But salutes. Do your thing. Do it quietly. Shut the fuck up.
With American agents because they surrendered Mosteco. Another version is that they were arrested in Mexico and immediately taken to the United States. Another one is that they boarded the plane in Hermosillo, Sonora, along with American agents because they surrendered themselves to them in Mexican territory. And that's how they were flown to Texas in a plane. Then another version comes out. That said, only Joaquin had surrendered and had tricked Yoma into boarding the plane, with the pretext of going to see some landing stripes and some land. As hours went by, a new version emerged, suggesting that Yoma was not fooled and they didn't went to see any lands nor to some tracks, but that Joaquin, after a long time of negotiations with the American agencies, he made a deal to surrender, and that he summoned the Yoma to a meeting where he captured, tied him up, and put him on the plane to take him to the United States. This version did not come from the government, but from Yoma's lawyer, and that is very important, so don't forget it. And well, folks, up until today, as I'm making this episode, that's what's been said about this plot. Those are the versions that have circulated. Every YouTuber, every journalist has their...
Bro, we've seen all of them, right? Now we know that some of them are not true. Did any of you people who were wrong step up and say that shit? Probably not. The people that sat on the fence, that's cool. You needed more information, like a smart human being would need. You know what I'm saying? And you waited for that information, you made your decision. But to the other ones that was ready to die on that hill, he turned himself in, this, that. They walk back in the bushes, they got nothing to say after that. Sorry, bro, that's my insult for all the MAGA Trumpers, bro. Don't wear out the insult, bro. Back up off it. All right? When you got it trademarked, then you holler at me, bro. All right? Peace.
Their version. And they all...
We heard mad theories for weeks and weeks and weeks. And every time something changed, it changed. When he wrote the letter, all of a sudden people were saying, oh man, he smoked his own security just to make it look real. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about? It could be a prisoner exchange before Trump gets in office. Could be anything, man.
Claim to have a source in the United States government. In the end, there are just too many versions being said.
Too many versions, man. Too many versions. Yeah. Too many. Michael Moreno, where's the paperwork? You said he's coming home. Where is that? Show me.
The only common denominator in most of them is that Joaquin, also known as El Güero or Kikín, turned himself in. All right, friends. I want to share my thoughts on the first thing that came to mind the day this news emerged. This agreement granted them immunity in exchange for providing information about rival cartels.
I feel like he cut it there, all right? I feel like he cut it there. I feel like that's an edit. So he went on to say, the first thing that I thought of when this happened, and then it cut to something else. So that something else is him talking about the deal that they supposedly, that everybody was talking about that they made.
I want to share my thoughts on the first thing that came to mind the day this news emerged. This agreement granted them immunity in exchange for providing information about rival cartels and other Ocran actors, which included snitching on people and cargo. Because the Yoma can't be without his ranch. He is a man who...
He just cut again. So these are not coherent. You're not going into coherent, parts of the story. This is a preview again.
States. Another one is that they boarded the negotiations with the American agency. Here, the only common denominator in most of them is... And well, folks, out his ranch. He is a man the day this news emerged. This agreement granted them immunity in exchange for providing information about rival cartels and other Ocran actors, which included snitching on people and cargo. Because the Yoma can't be without his ranch. He is a man who is terrified of being locked up, and I don't think he would want to spend the rest of his days and his old age behind bars. That seems unbelievable to me, but hey, he is the top head of Ocran in Mexico. And just because he's not out there showing off his power doesn't mean he's less powerful than others. On the contrary, as I was telling you, he is all...
He said that man need his ranch. He need that rancho. Hit the like button, y'all. The last thing he would want is to go, be unalived in an American prison.
About negotiations. But in the end, he was the crown jewel for the United States. Neither the Chapitos nor Choman were as valuable as Yoma in this context, of how valuable he was for the United States government. Since they about his connections, his relationships with the highest levels of government for so many decades, and that made him the most valuable asset. Now, let's move on to the reason why the Chapitos took this action. As you already know, the four brothers are accused in various courts in the United States, but let's focus on Joaquin. He has at least two accusations, one in the District of Columbia and another in the District of Illinois. It should not be surprising to learn that the leaders of the organizations have communication or dealings with the United States government. Like I told you, since 2001, Pocha and Yoma were doing it. Through those negotiations, it was that Vicentillo tried to arrange his surrender to the United States in 2009. And that's why he met with U.S. agents in Mexico City, but things didn't went well for him. Since he was detained, in 2013 and 2014, the four Chapitos, Mini, and the Licenciado, they had negotiations with the U.S. government also to arrange a surrender. Emma also communicated with those people. After 2019, the four Chapitos had communication with U.S. agents, always looking for deals and negotiations to try to get more protection. Sometimes you reach agreements, sometimes you don't. It's this. After Ovidio's arrest in 2023, Joaquin approached the United States government. He always had it in mind to surrender. He didn't want to live hidden because that's just not his style. Then, with Ovidio's extradition, the outlook became clearer for Joaquin. And he already knew what needed to be done. I'm talking about turning himself in. It was just a matter of coming up with a good plan.
They got the man that people still now, with him in custody, believe could never be caught. And just threw him on a plane, brought him over to the U.S. It's crazy.
with a strategy to achieve the maximum benefit for everyone. All right, they made a whole plan worthy of tactical geniuses and master strategists, because obviously this wasn't planned overnight. It took some time to set up the whole scenario, to know based on the negotiations which currency was the most valuable, take full advantage of all the action to get the maximum benefit in every aspect. Well, since they had the target already, defined as the one getting much more benefit from the U.S. government. In this case, Mr. Yoma. And watch out, I don't mean to say that from the beginning they negotiated taking him tied up to the U.S. No. But if the government tells you who is their top target, the one they would most like to have, well, obviously with that, you know who you need to go to. So the next step is to come up with a plan. Imagine that. The only person who was in their way, well, kind of was in their way, to consolidate their empire was Yoma. Because practically, El Yoma gave in to almost everything the Chapitos asked for, just to avoid a confrontation with them. So as they say, killing two birds with one stone, but this time, not just two birds, but the whole flock. And it also looks good to the U.S. government, giving more leverage when it comes to sentencing decisions. And they end up with practically all the power in Sinaloa, as they won't have the counterweight that the Yoma posed to them. And besides, they stay on good terms with the state government of Sinaloa. All right.
You see how diplomacy, because he said Mayo tried his best to keep things peaceful with the Chapitos and made decisions, you know, through the guise of making sure that things stayed peaceful. Got snatched up for it. What was that conversation like? They standing around smoking a joint? Well, we could take the old man. Everybody giggles. Plan goes into effect. Like, that's crazy. That's some Ocean's 11 gangster shit right there. Shout out Jonathan on the check-in. Salutes, Shia. Salutes my dude. I apologize for being late. Shout out to the chat and the El Cartel. Salutes to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Let's see what else we got here. Alex said, I believe Miles' lawyer stated he was kidnapped. He did. That ain't enough for some people. The pilot was probably undercover DEA. They could be lying, but everybody says it wasn't. Let's see. They could be lying. The truth rewrites history. Man, I would hope so. Shout out Miguel Lopez on the check-in. Appreciate you. Jay. Here is what it is. All right, Jay's telling us what it is, y'all. Y'all ready? He got it all figured out, all right? Here's what it is. Mayo came up with this whole plan. That old man is not going to get kidnapped or tricked in Mexico. He only came in 4 escoltas and they took him. Really, people? All right, Jay. You didn't teach us shit right there. All you did was repeat everything that everybody else said, but when you got something to bring to the table, bring it to the table other than speculation and the fact that you're dumbfounded because you seem to think nobody, everybody can't be touched. And this is proof that everybody can be touched. Cook is probably on his 7th booster. I don't know what that is. Are you viewing the free version or did you pay for the subscription? I'm viewing the free version, JCG. The free version it is. The preview. And Aaliyah said, I was telling y'all was saying he was scared to death of getting captured. I was telling y'all was saying he was scared who was scared to death? See, Aaliyah, be clear. And he was scared to death of being captured. He don't want to die in no prison. The guy talking with the fake cover who doesn't know shit. The guy on the screen with the face cover that doesn't know shit against the guy in the chat with no picture, no face to be covered, whose credentials we don't know, who seems to know everything, but doesn't want to share it. So, come on, man. You sound like the other guy, man. You sound like Jay. This guy right here, man. What y'all talking about? Salutes Miguel Lopez. All right. Let's get it.
Now let's talk about what my friends in Culiacan told me. regarding the meeting. In politics, as in
Regarding the meeting.
terms with the state government
Hit the like button, y'all. Salutes.
of Sinaloa. All right, now let's talk about what my friends in Culiacan told me. Regarding
I wish I could tell you. I mean, here's how this works out for you, Michael Moreno. That when the truth does come out, right? Since you didn't tell us, you can say, you see? You see? That's what I was going to tell you. Right? But we don't got no proof of that, bro. So, you know, we ain't trying to hear that shit. Period.
the meeting. In politics, my friends in Culiacan told me. Regarding the meeting. In politics, as in Ocran, there are always rivalries and problems. In this case, the governor of Sinaloa had a deep-rooted problem with Mr. Hector Melesio Quen, and that was causing many conflicts. So the only way to solve them, as it always happens in Sinaloa, is thacking things up with the Yoma, so that he can be the mediator and the way to solve the problem. And this was exactly the keystone that made it possible for events to unfold.
Right? Politicians got a beef. Them politicians got to get that figured out. Who they supposed to call? The Yoma. Like Miguel Lopez said, in Culiacan. In Culiacan. That's the deli guy translating, man. Salutes. All right, politicians got a problem. They got to talk to the Yoma, to MAYO. Perfect, way to get him where they need him to be. Ooh, yeah, that's it. Michael Moreno, that's it. How come they show MAYO wearing a blue Hugo Boss shirt in the drawing? He was wearing a Cardium Socorro shirt. In the drawing, he was wearing when he changed his clothes, and why wasn't he wearing a jumpsuit or shaved bald? I don't know, man. You flying into way conspiracy territories. Give me a PowerPoint presentation. Put those two pictures next to each other in the Discord. Show me what you're talking about. I can't do all the work. Santana's such a cuck. MAYO got kidnapped. My sources, Anabel Hernandez, who we already spoke about, Ian Grillo, not Lone Grillo, even though you need a loan, and the Rat Twins. Can't argue with people that don't have comprehension skills. Guillermo Rivas, I'm going to ask a question that needs to be answered. How reliable is this guy's info? Why should we give him trust? Well, I will say this. Everybody, aside from me who really don't give a shit, hit the like button, y'all. The people that are involved, I know you answered the questions, man, Ali, but show me the pictures you're talking about. You asking the questions, but I have to visualize them, and I need to see them in order for me to answer that. And I'm not going to do the work. You want the question answer, so let me see that shit. You don't have to do it right now, but you got to do it. Salutes. He said fashion. Miguel Lopez said fashion. Yeah, man. It's like he got to switch his Air Force Ones out in the middle of the day, man. Keep them crispy. Make sure y'all hit the like button. But the people that are involved, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be the Twins, whether it be Ocran Leaks, whether it be what's that guy's name? The Ochoa guy. All of these different people, they may each have their own agenda, right? And they're gonna be like the Fox News Network and the CNN News Network, and everybody's telling their own, their own situation. This guy has a track record. This channel, Ocran Leaks, has a track record for having good information that the average Joe can't get. So that his basically his track record is pretty much why we would even consider what he's saying. Very reliable. People don't lie. Salutes. Angel Cruz said, MAYO slipped. He forgot the main rule and that there is no peace without a war. You can't skip the step. Once you do, you land in El Paso. Después, the viejo se puso bruto and the chapito smelled it. Again, shout out Peter for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Pete Never. I appreciate you for the support. Thank you. The Chapito smelled it. Listen, when you have a legend, right? A legendary run of not being caught, right? Shout out Pete Never. Salutes to you. When you have that kind of lore around you that is so heavy that when you do get caught, people can't believe it months later and weeks later. They can't fathom that it happened. When you have that kind of aura around you, right? Kind of like Anderson Silva and Mike Tyson, how they used to have fighters beat before they walked to the ring because just the thought of them coming towards you was enough to terrify you. You know what I'm saying? When you have that kind of legend wrapped around you, you got it all figured out, right? Most of the time, the people that might have had a chance to take you out, it didn't even cross their mind. Why didn't it cross their mind? Because of the legend that surrounds you. It's just getting past that thought. Maybe the Chapitos were the ones that got past that thought and said, you know what? We're going to pull this trigger on this project that nobody would even consider, think of. And that right there is probably the most difficult part of the whole decision or the whole plan of what it took to get them. After that, it's just doing what they do. Murking people, snatching people, this, that, and the other. But you have to get to the realization, I'm going to do this. I'm taking this old man with me. I'm throwing him in the trunk. We going to the United States and I'm going to cut a deal. I'm young enough to have a life. His life is done. This is the trigger that we got to pull. This is that red button we got to hit. You know what I'm saying? And I think once that's done, and nobody really did that throughout the years. Nobody really believed that they could pull it off. You got to believe you could pull it off in order for it to happen. And that's why it has all of y'all. Not all of y'all, but the ones that are dumbfounded. I can't believe it. Jefe got caught. He's human, bro. He's human. And with 40 years of comfort and nobody, you know, all it took was 5 years of terror to put the thought in people's minds to not mess with him. Until somebody decided, you know what, we're going to mess with him. We're going to take him. Let's get it. What? What are we talking about here? Moms are the best. Salutes. Miguel said, blah, blah, blah. I told you, Shy, the governor's story was the more believable story. The governor's story. The governor's story. I don't know what you're talking about, but salutes. Manalea said I sent it on the Discord. Okay, I'll take a look at it when I get a chance. Appreciate it. Yes, Miguel, I'm sure we all think our moms are the best mom. That's like when Gotti took out the boss. Then he became the boss, right? Well, a little different, right? Because think about this. How long was Carlo Gambino in power before he was gone, right? Carlo Gambino was in power for many, many moons, right? Gotti ain't take your shot at Gambino. Gambino represent MAYO. Gotti came and took the shot at his replacement. Somebody that he knew didn't have the history, the legend, the legacy that Gambino had. Somebody that he knew didn't get the respect that you know Gambino had. Right? But had Gotti have took out Gambino, they would be identical. You know what I'm saying? But just even with that thought, he had to make a decision. Once the decision was made, Spark Steakhouse. Fernando said Papa Joaquin had to have a good laugh when he heard about little Joaquin coming out with that boss move. He had to. Chapo had to giggle in his cell. Hit the like button, y'all. Chapo had to giggle in his cell a little bit. under the sounds of people, drawing out earth from under him to come get a tunnel into the MCC, wherever he's at, or whatever the max he's at. You know, but he had to giggle. Damn, my sons pulled it off. They threw the old man in the trunk. Ah! Wildin'. Reminds me about the legend of how the Aztec warriors believed the Spanish conquistadors to be unbeatable until they saw them bleed on the battlefield. And that's all it takes sometimes. To give you that boost of confidence to get your respect back. You know? Look at Jay, another cuck. Well, if you'd watch this channel and you watch the comments, I said out loud, Jay, all right, He said, what happened to Mayo going to Chicago? My opinion, they keep him close to the border for Mexico can go back for him. What happened to Mayo going to Chicago? I said he would come to Chicago. I still believe he'll end up in Chicago. They're going where the cases take him. All right? They're going where the cases take him. Again, I said I was wrong. But I also said that people like you going to have to eat it if he does end up in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? But Jay, you guys like Santana, you guys are the lowest level of, just comprehension. Hit the like button, people. Thank you in advance. Salutes to Zoraida. I appreciate you. All right? But yeah, so, once those boys made that decision, the work was pretty much done. We're going to take out the golden goose.
Because like this, and this was exactly the keystone that made it possible for events to unfold. Because like this, if there are politicians involved, those who know the Yoma know that he is very accommodating with them. So, if the meeting was set by the Chapitos somewhere they had full control, but there were politicians involved, then Yoma would attend. Because if not, most likely that meeting would have taken place on Yoma's territory. Imagine, all that area, from UDO to Culiacancito and even El Tamarindo, the Chapitos have filled with offices. So basically, the Yoma's people couldn't do anything there anymore. But now let's go into what the meeting was like. It went like this. A meeting was scheduled. Joaquin was going to be there also. The prof, as Yoma commonly referred to Quen Ojeda, would be there. And supposedly someone from Governor Rochamoya's side as well, to fix the problems they had between the governor and Quen. But the reality, it was said that meeting was to resolve problems for the Chapitos in the United States. A person who was just outside Huertos del Pedregal area. He told me he didn't know exactly which runway they took him to, but he did said. There are two possible runways where that plane could have taken off. One is in the Berlin field. Here are the coordinates. Because he saw that Joaquin left Huertos del Pedregal heading towards Culiacancito, where the Campo Berlin airstrip is located, but also it could have been heading towards El Dorado, as another source tells me. That from Huertos del Pedregal, from there, he took the road to El Dorado.
Mind you, he's talking to sources we don't have, and even they give him two different directions. It just be like that. 298 said Jay had the whole story figured out since day one. Oakland confirmed them boys been there. They know what's going on. Salutes. Fernando says Chicago or New York. It's not like either jurisdiction is going any easier on him. Agreed. That's just something that if we say something out. One day Jay asked me here, Jay Flores asked me, where you think he's going to go? I said Chicago. He said Chicago too. He ended up going to New York. These cucks that take these L's all day long in the chat and in the comments, they're waiting for you to make a mistake. And even when you admit it was wrong, they still want to hold it to you, even though it means nothing. Because like you said, it's not like either jurisdiction is going to go any easier on them. But it is what it is. And I'm from Culiacan, just got back from Durango and Fiestas. Wasn't saying what happened to Chicago to poke at you, bro. Nah, I mean, it be feeling like that, dog. Some of y'all talk like that to poke at me. But here's the thing. When I poke back, y'all be like, he's mad, he's sensitive. Nah, man. It is what it is what it is. You get what you give.
Dorado to reach the runway. I'm going to show you the coordinates, and they confirm that the plane took off from there. Here it goes, and this is confirmed. At 200%, it was said that plane had been seen in previous days on that runway near Dorado, that plane and another one similar but white and blue, and that it was also a King Air plane. So there were two King Air planes on that runway. Another source told me that this plane, which I'm going to show you a picture of so you can see it, was one of the things that the Chapitos stole from the Valenzuelas. You remember, right? Gabriel and Jorge Valenzuela. What I can confirm is that the plane never departed from Sonora. It took off from the outskirts of Culiacan. from one of the Chapitos airstrips and that I can confirm.
What is it, Michael Lopez? Coolie Khan? Coolie Khan. Shout out Heck Perez on the check-in. Appreciate you. All right, salute to everybody else in the building. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. 77 concurrent viewers, 51 likes. Let's make them likes make sense. Appreciate you being here. To you Ghost Watchers, you're getting free entertainment and information. So, you know, the least you could do is hit that free little like button. Gene Borello has mentioned that NY courts give best sentencing deals. Well, you got to question the source, though.
For you. Everything that was Culiacan from one of the Chapitos airstrips and that I can confirm for you. Everything that was initially going around, that they left in a Cessna and even gave the pilot's name, that was all a mistake. Why? Because they saw the flight plan of a plane that flew at approximately the same time as Joaquin's, and that plane departed from Hermosillo. And that is why there was that confusion. But Joaquin's plane initially didn't have a flight plan ready for takeoff, which is very common on flights in this environment. Sometimes the transponder isn't on, so authorities can't detect the plane, and they don't announce that they are flying. Only the pilot is paying attention to the radio, listening for any air traffic. There are times, for example, when in the flight plan they say they are going to Chihuahua. But while flying above Chihuahua, they suddenly change the flight plan to another place. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Well, so far so good.
And that's for the people that are not in the know. You guys watch Cartel TikTok. You see the videos with the airplane hangars with the airplanes in them, and the Mercedes G-Wagons that are all white with gold trim. You see those things, right? What makes you think those guys are with flight plans? Nah, they go up, they switch shit, they move around, they doing their thing. It's what they do, right? But people give information in the comments, but you don't know that information. You don't know what their process is, you know? Well, the plane would have got shot out the sky. All right, well, there's ways around shit. That's how smuggling happens. Shout out Heck Perez said, don't forget to wipe your feet when you coming in. Respectfully wipe your feet, right? Don't come in here with no beaters either. Guillermo said, did they lift the shadow ban? No. I guess it's content, man. I guess I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a box. I can only do cartel content because it doesn't seem like the other stuff gets the attention. We'll see. Shout out 82 current viewers, 53 likes. Let's make that shit make sense.
Now, what happened in Huertos del Pedregal with the others? With Yoma's bodyguards, the people from Los Chapitos started to give them treatment. Here is where the key to all this lies. There was only one person they didn't tie up, and that person is Fausto Corrales. And why didn't they tie him up? It's because he is very close friends with the Chapitos. That's why they
He's very close friends with the Chapitos, y'all.
Gave him, and he was the...
I have to start saying it that way. I mean, I'm sure YouTube is going to make that a buzzword. I'm going to have to start calling it Chapitos. Shout out to the deli guy for giving me a new tool. You know what I'm saying? I take tools from people. There you go. That's one.
He is very close friends with the Chapitos. That's why they forgave him, and he was the only one not touched at the meeting. And after Joaquin went with Yoma to the track, they ordered Fausto and told him this bomb is about to explode.
So he didn't get to the rest of that Fausto story, right? So they let Fausto go, supposedly.
It's because
Fausto was supposedly Melesio Quinn's driver. Supposedly, you seen us cover the video on a live recently of the gas station where supposedly they unalived Melesio Quinn. But was the driver in the car with him, Fausto? Like, what's happening here? Who's lying? I don't know about that gas station video. I'm not convinced with that. Shout out Alec Palacio. What up, Shai? Checking in. Salutes to you. Heck, the Chapitos, heck, the Chapitos. Can we translate MAYO? What are you talking about, Arabic warrior? What do you mean, can we translate MAYO?
Because he is very close friends with the Chapitos. That's why they forgave him, and he was the only one not touched at the meeting. And after Joaquin went with Yoma...
From something that I heard, I believe it was Albert Flores in the Discord, now they want Fausto. Because Fausto's the only dude that can say things clearly. So they let him live to go back after him. Allegedly. We'll look into it, though.
Yoma to the track. They ordered Fausto and told him this bomb is about to explode. And the Chapitos right now, at this very moment, as I am making this podcast, which is on the 3rd of August, right now, they're looking for Fausto, apparently to resign him, to remove another loose end.
So he's a loose end now. A loose end that they left loose because they was cool with him. That didn't do him no good. Now they on his ass again.
Because that now, at this very moment, as I am making this podcast, which is on the 3rd of August, right now, they're looking for Fausto, apparently to resign him, to remove another loose end, because that one is very dangerous.
Crazy.
Because if it gets into the hands of the government or the people from Mayito Flaco and they squeeze him to get the truth out of him, he is going to tell them everything, how it happened and how the events unfolded. So this makes it very clear that it was all a well-organized plan by the Chapitos. And it's also clear now to all of us that there was no incursion of U.S. agents into Mexican territory, as there were no agents in Huertos del Pedregal. The ones who were there, I already told you who they were. I've been informed that there's a video of Yoma tied up, but don't take my word for it. I haven't seen it. But within the inner circle of the Chapitos, that's what you hear. Maybe one day they'll bring it to light. I don't know. Do you remember I told you weeks ago that Ratoncito was all...
If there is a video of MAYO getting tied up by the Chapitos, right? If there is a video of Yoma getting tied up by the Chapitos, that video will air. We will react to it on this channel, right? And people will still deny what they're looking at. Then they'll call it AI or some shit. New York doesn't go any easier. Chapo was sentenced to life plus 30 years in Brooklyn.
Already cooperating with the prosecutors. You here. Maybe one day they'll bring it to light. I don't know. Do you remember I told you weeks ago that Ratoncito was already cooperating with the prosecutor's office? And that liar lawyer of his said he wasn't planning to cooperate. And now he's coming out saying that they are cooperating and that Joaquin turned himself in.
Who's Ratoncito? Who's he talking about? I don't follow him like that. How crazy would it be if Fausto is the guy talking in the video? What a plot twist. Talking in what video? This video? Or the video, the gas station video? What are you talking about? That shit fell flat. Salute. Hit the like button, y'all.
All right. Now that everything is coming to light, I can speak more clearly to you all. We couldn't expect anything less than a letter. You know that according to the
who he's talking about when he talk, because I'm sure he's been talking about him for a while. Who's he talking about when he says Ratoncito? Video? Yeah, I figured that.
And that Joaquin turned himself in. All right. Now that everything is coming to light, I can turn cooperating with the problem. What you hear. Right. Maybe one day they'll bring it to light. I don't know. Do you remember I told you weeks ago that Ratoncito was already cooperating with the prosecutor's office? And that liar lawyer of his said he wasn't planning to cooperate. And now he's coming out saying that they are cooperating and that Joaquin turned himself in. All right. Now that everything is coming to light, I can speak more clearly to you all. We couldn't expect anything less than a letter. You know that according to the Chapitos, that solves everything. Unfortunately, they already have a record that all the letters they have written are pure lies.
Mind you, that could be part of his agenda. He hates their guts. But again, that's the letter we got into. We were doing a live stream, but I was cussing out a troll, and we never got to the letter. The letter, you know, as far as he's concerned, full of bullshit.
So this is no more credible or real than a Honda Corolla. Now I'm going to explain why this war of statements and why the lawyer of Los Chapitos emphasizes a lot in this case, making clear that the governments didn't have a part in this, both Mexico and the United States. And for those who still don't understand how the boss ruled without his army of bodyguards, as everyone imagines and sees in
All right, look, where's Jay? Where's Jay? Jay said, you really think? Now, this is a guy that's, his information has been official. A lot of people believe in his information. But you, the guy with no face, no name, in the crowd, he only went with 4 guys, 4 security. Come on.
fictional TV series ruled without his army of botsy. And for those who
How he
still don't
ruled,
understand
how he ruled without his army of bodyguards. It's just he have an army with him. Come on, man.
how the boss ruled without his army of bodyguards as everyone imagines and sees in fictional TV series, I already told you in a previous episode, you have no idea how the cartels operate. They assume a lot of things because they watch series or listen to corridos and also watch videos made by propaganda organizations where 30, 50, or 200 people come out well-equipped. And you think that's how they actually live, but no. Remember, everyone has their own style, and Yoma's style was to be alone. Several years ago, like in 2017, Yoma was also involved. He was with 1 or 2 trucks, just trusting Yoma, preparing him, setting him up, gaining his confidence, what is known as a decoy operation. 2, lastly, deliver the final blow. Well, friends, until today, which is August 3rd, which is the day I'm recording this episode.
There you go, Jay. He told you. He could just run around with a couple of guys. Because it be like that sometimes.
Where 30...
So you're standing your whole theory on the fact that he should have had more security. That falls flat on a bunch of different occasions.
50 or 200 people come out well-equipped. And you think that's how they actually live, but no. Remember, everyone has their own style. And Yoma's style was to be alone. Several years ago, like in 2017, Yoma was also involved. He was with 1 or 2 trucks, just trusting Yoma, preparing him, setting him up, gaining his confidence. What is known...
His confidence?
English, motherfucker. Do
Damn.
you speak it?
His confidence. Shout out Big Body. Big Body, I think you're a little bit behind in the video, but salutes to you. Appreciate you for being here. How's Ocran mad about the attorney? Has he heard about strategy? Client changing his mind? Client cooperating? Again, you got to remember, everybody's going to have their side. The people that they're against. The people they don't mess with. People they're biased against. It is what it is. Leo Ortiz. Now, Leo Ortiz never has anything. He never says nothing in here. But you could tell the type of person he is because the first time he comes in here, he says, I'd be bored at work. Counting how many times Shy says you know in an episode. Cool. Everybody has their idiosyncrasies and the things that they say. But this shit, the fact that you took time out of your work day to type this just shows that you're a sucker. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you know what I'm saying. You should count that in with the you knows and for your little game. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. Have a good day. Get you a channel, bro. So when I'm bored, I could listen to you lisp and shit. You know what I mean? Leo. But it blows me that the people that the first time they want to speak is to say some stupid shit. It just shows who you are. The problem is getting y'all to see who you are. I wish you guys could see who you are, but you never will. It's just impossible. Alex said a lot of people would rather roll alone. Sometimes you can't trust nobody, right? All the time you can't trust nobody. Who Yoma? Yoma is supposed to be El MAYO, if that's what you're talking about, Pete Never. He's saying Yoma instead of MAYO to try to throw off the YouTube censorship. Jay, listen to el corrido del MAYO. Ivan por el del sombrero. Whatever. Luis Garcia, saludos to you. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's get it. Leo Ortiz, swallow something. Lupe the Bull, Yoma equals MAYO.
As a decoy operation. 2, lastly, deliver the final blow. Well, friends, until today, which is August 3rd, which is the day I'm recording this episode, is what journalism knows. Johan Grillo is the only person who has truly spoken the truth about what happened. I know who his source is.
Now, we covered that Ian Grillo story on this channel. And we felt like it made sense too, you know, so he's giving him his props on here. You can't call too much attention. You can't be looking like a narco. Manalia, I have an answer to your question. You ready? Now, this is what I be talking about, right? As a matter of fact, let me pull up the... let's finish this video real quick, and I'll answer that question. The question about the shirt. They definitely have a deal on the table that shit don't happen by accident. I mean, there's going to... Yeah, who knows everybody's negotiating something in one way or another right now, you know? Whether it be on the streets, whether it be in jail with their lawyer, whatever, everybody in this situation is planning and cutting the deal somehow. All right, hit the like button.
It's a very good source. That source told me
so he's giving Ian Grillo his props and talking about Ian Grillo's source.
Which is August 3rd, which is the day I'm recording this episode, is what journalism knows. Johan Grillo is the only person who has truly spoken the truth about what happened. I know who his source is, and it's a very good source. That source told me as well on July 27th that this is what had happened. But you all know I like confirming before telling you something, so I don't end up like journalists who just want to win and be first with anything, and they say a bunch of nonsense that only makes stuff harder to understand.
I agree with him. That'd be the problem. People want to come out first. Doesn't matter if the information's right or wrong. They just want to say that shit. And blurt that shit out. Like, what? You just said some shit that don't make no sense.
Whatever is said afterward, don't take it as certain. I've already told you the reality of what truly happened. And I'm sorry for all those folks who don't believe that Yoma could have been kidnapped. No one is untouchable, and everyone has a weak point.
Period.
And when there's betrayal involved, it's inevitable that things happen.
Period.
Well, because of all this, you know, there's quite a stir with talks about conflicts and much more. But I think that's enough for today. In the next episode, I'll tell you more of everything that has been happening as a result of this event. The things people say, the things you see, the things you don't see. I'll also explain why a conflict didn't erupt because of what happened. And also, what my friends in Culiacan tell me. I'll cover all that in the next episode about this matter, and I'll tell you other interesting stories related to this event. It's going to be really good. So you can't miss it because, as I said, it's going to be really good. Also, dear audience, remember I mentioned wanting to do a Q&A episode. Please write all your questions in the comments so we can start this new dynamic, and I'll answer them little by little as we progress.
Shout out Ocran Leaks, all right? Got our info right there. Broke that down. Shout out Nathan Wallace. We are live. 030 North said his sombrero's dancing right now in jail, Santana. I swear this podcast gets me through my workout. Salutes to you, Guillermo. Appreciate you. Right, hit the like button, y'all. All right, so, I mean, not much new information there. Basically, you know, what everybody's been saying. And not everybody, because some people fight against it because they can't believe that Superman got caught. I wanted to go into Discord, and I wanted to answer this question. Nathan Wallace said, who is that individual? The way he said the next episode with strong emphasis is almost like he was quoting that Dr. Dre song. No, Nathan, that was a AI translation. It was an AI translation that Ocran Leaks uses. We call him the deli guy. All right. Shout out man Aaliyah. He had a question earlier, right? We're going to get through this real quick. Man Aaliyah, are you still in the building? Check in. Honey's up in the chat for y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. 88 concurrent viewers. 60 likes. All right. Boom. Man Aaliyah said, let me see if I can find it real quick. There you go. He said he sent it on Discord. How come they show MAYO wearing a blue Hugo Boss shirt, which you guys see right here? This short sleeve polo. How come they show MAYO wearing a blue Hugo Boss shirt, but in the drawing he's wearing a Carpe Diem Socorro shirt? When he changed his clothes, and why wasn't he wearing a jumpsuit or shaved bald? Right? And I told him to get me the picture that he's talking about, and he did, right? So this is the picture he's talking about, right? This is the old man wearing the Carpe Diem Socorro shirt, right? You got to understand something. Sometimes it's the simplest answer. Sometimes it don't have shit to do with a conspiracy. I'm not saying that's what you're saying it is, but you ask the question. It's a question, right? Bet. He's an old man. He's sick. He's been in a holding cell. He's been in vans. He's been through hallways. He's been in offices. He's an old man. They put a hoodie on him. They don't want him to keel over and croak in that wheelchair right there. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not cooking. Shout out Albert Analia. He's going to cook you. No, I'm not cooking you. But that's the simple answer. That's the simple answer I have for you. Why is he not in a jumpsuit? Could be many reasons. Maybe too frail. Maybe whatever it was in his travels, right? But there's a simple explanation for it. And that's the simple one. The simple one is he's an old man. They ain't going to let him catch a pneumonia on their case, throw a hoodie on him. Is it his hoodie? Could be. Maybe the Chapitos took it with him when they threw him on the plane. You know? Maybe they took it off when he was hot and pissed off in the back of the car going to wherever they were going. And then they put it on and he going to court. He probably been wearing that. You know? Maybe the hoodie's his pillow. I don't know. But that's the simple answer to that question. Salutes. There had been a myth building up around MAYO because of his inaccessibility and how anonymous he was in the narco world. The reality is that he would probably more mythologized than genius. If you listen to earlier in this broadcast, I presume the same thing. It just took somebody to finally make the decision to get after him. It's annoying how AI is thrown around term these days. Yeah, it's going to be that way. And his Mexicans that's used to being in the mountain, he ain't used to no AC. Woo! Or cold stone up against his ass while he's, sleeping. Who knows? Peter said maybe Jay sent him what, the hoodie? Or the sweater? Yeah, Jay sent him, maybe, yeah, there's your answer. Manalia, Jay sent him a hoodie. And boom, that way he's not cold in the courtroom. And because he's in court, he's an old man that will get cold. Facts, that's it. That's the easy answer. So, to me, in my world, I'd say conspiracy theory debunked. But right now, there's somebody saying, nah, Now, they picked that specific thing because he got a great-grandmother named Socorro, you know what I'm saying? And she used to tell him all the time to seize the day, carpe diem, you know what I'm saying? And so they put the hoodie on him to send a message to his people that he got shut your dumbasses up, man.
Your services are no longer needed in the community.
Who the bumbo clot? Oh! Put him in a fucking bed.
We don't want to talk to y'all. Y'all don't make no sense. All right? But there's somebody out there that's doing that right now, so salutes. All right? Let's see if there's anything else. So we also had, what they had Buddy Ken Salazar talking, but I didn't see him say nothing new. I do see this. Let me see. I do want to read this really quick, so. Let me just make sure I don't got nothing else that I need. So hopefully, Manalia, that answered your question thoroughly. And I had to use it as a learnable, teachable moment. Salutes. I do want to read this Borderland Beat article, though. So let's do this. This Borderland Beat article has to do with Milicio Hector Quinn. For those that don't know who that is, that was one of the politicians that was supposed to be involved in the sit-down with MAYO, in which he was, quote-unquote, snatched, right? He was reportedly unalived. I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, right? In MAYO's letter, MAYO declared that, or MAYO's lawyer declares in MAYO's letter, that is not true, that he was not unalived the next day, that he was unalived right there in the room where MAYO was snatched, right? Shout out Yar. Yar, you only getting me tonight, bro. Most of the time, you only getting me. Salutes. Shout out Heck. 298 said the twins are goddamn trendsetters, boy. Sorry, there are accounts he wasn't taken directly to prison. From accounts he was taken to FBI offices. There it is. And if that is the case, makes sense why he isn't in different clothing. I'm sure he was everywhere that day. Salutes to Fernando. Yeah, I'm sure he was in all those days. In those days, they ain't want that old man to die of no pneumonia on them. You know. Salutes. All right. Salutes. Y'all on the check-in, but sorry, you're out of luck today, buddy. So anyways, Hector Quinn was supposed to be one of those politicians, and MAYO's letter said that he was unalive right there in the room where MAYO got snatched. Okay? Then the next couple of days, a video came out, and we did that in the live stream. And the video came out of, and we'll probably watch it again right here, of supposedly the jacking of Melesio Quinn in a gas station. And it's a lot of questionable things about it. You really can't see nothing. You don't know who's in the truck. You don't see no flash, which is, there's always explanations for stuff like that, but I don't know. We'll see. Hex said got it from the lost and found. Nah, man, that was his great abuelita Socorro. The big key there is that he was. Hold on, Albert, you jumping the gun. We're gonna get there. Dope. I forgot when you sit here and chat with us. Rolling up, about to smoke a joint, sit back and comment. Salutes, enjoy. Smoke them if you got them. Nathan said he lasted longer than most Ocran's history, and will definitely acquire a reasonable amount of money. His fate and ultimate incarceration is no different than the peers of predecessors. Yeah, they're gonna be talking about another untouchable guy in 20 years, right? So, anyways, back to what I was talking about, or back to this thing here. The title of this article is Hector Quinn Ojeda's autopsy report and illegal cremation contradicts Sinaloa authorities' claim. All right. Let me move the chat for a sec. I'll move it over. Let's see if that's good enough. And boom. All right. The immediate cadaveric signs, temperature, the natological signs, lividity, and the correct description and evolution of the body are not correctly established, the report states. Nor were the measures for preserving the body complied with by any of the authorities involved, allowing for cremation, which is contrary to criminalistic practices for investigating homicides. So, AKA, there's red flags and somebody did this shit all wrong already. According to information from the FGR, the body of Hector Melesio Quinn Ojeda had a strong hematoma on the head and received 4 shots to the legs, which contradicts the version of the gas station video. See, I hadn't read this yet. Exhibited by the Sinaloa prosecutor's office to support the attempted robbery as the main line of investigation into the politician's unaliving. All right? 4 shots take more time than 1. And he had a hematoma like they smacked him in his shit. Due to the publication of the letter from El Mayo, the FGR requested the report of the investigation into the unaliving of former rector Hector Melesio Quinn that, according to the Sinaloa's prosecutor's office and as reported by the governor, had happened because of a robbery at a gas station. But Mayo says no, that he was unalive the same day and in the same place where he was snatched. The Attorney General's office, FGR, stated that upon reviewing the investigation file initiated by its counterpart in Sinaloa for the unaliving of Hector Quinn, former rector of the autonomous university of that entity, it found various inconsistencies that indicate that the events did not occur as claimed by local authorities. This afternoon, the Attorney General stated upon receiving the investigation file initiated his counterpart in Sinaloa found various inconsistencies. This afternoon, the FGR indicated that it obtained the certified copy of the investigation file, which is being reviewed by experts and analysts from the Criminal Investigations Agency, who reported that the autopsy performed by Quen Ojeda's body had irregularities and that his cremation was illegal. Right? Somebody was in a rush to get him out of there. Somebody was in a rush to make sure that there was no trace of nothing. 69 concurrent views, 64 likes. We lost a couple of people. They were here for the MAYO news, so it is what it is. The video from the gas station has sound and only one shot can be heard. I didn't hear the one shot. The 3 gas station employees do not report hearing any shots. I didn't hear the shot. Is this a picture of the video or is this the video? Is this the video right here? Hold on, I can't get a full yet, so we'll watch that after I read this. It was reported that he was shot in the leg during the attempted carjacking and hit a major artery. Well, that makes sense because I ain't see no flash up, eye level. I ain't see nothing. I didn't see a robbery attempt. I saw a dude open the door and then close the door and get back in his car. Get back on his bike. It was reported that he was shot in the leg during the attempted carjacking and hit a major artery. In addition, the FGR indicated that its counterpart in Sinaloa did not accurately identify the physiognomy of the occupants of the truck, nor did it establish the mechanics of the events, nor did it process the crime scene or the vehicle criminalistically. Video don't show us where that truck ended up. There are stains of human blood in the back of the truck, but there are no expert reports or determinations in this regard. The attraction and review of the investigation into Quen's murder, unaliving arose from the statements made by Ismael El Mayo Zambada, which were released in a letter in which he stated that the former rector would have been unalived after being summoned to a meeting with the governor of Sinaloa, Ruben Rocha Moya. On August 13th, Proceso reported that weeks before his unaliving, Quen accused the Morena Party Sinaloa Governor Rocha of removing the National Guard escort that protected him and held him responsible in case something happened to him. In his letter, Zambada stated that he did not turn himself into the U.S. authorities, but that only on July 26 he was kidnapped by Joaquin Guzman Lopez, son of his godfather Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, leader and founder of the Sinaloa Cartel. In the report released this Thursday by the FGR, it was indicated that the investigation for treason initiated against Joaquin Guzman Lopez, derived from the statements of El Mayo, is based on the fact that said crime establishes that it is committed by anyone who illegally deprives a person of his or her freedom in Mexico to hand him or her over to the authorities of another country or transfer him or her outside of national territory for that purpose. The essential evidence to prove this crime is located within the territory of the United States of America and is directly linked to an illegal flight, to a plane with a cloned registration, and to the absolutely irregular conduct of the person who piloted this plane and who concealed all information about his flight in Mexican territory until he reached the border, where he only gave notice of his approach and landing in the territory of the United States, where they were already waiting for him, explained the prosecutor's office. For this reason, investigative elements went to the Doña Ana Airport in Santa Teresa, New Mexico. I remember everybody was like, because his daughter's name is Teresa and they landed in Santa Teresa. Like, stop it. We got to stop the conspiracy theory bullshit, please. All right? I'm sure Mencho will be the next, as he's now the most prominent in Mexico. Salutes. His body had 4 shots, not 1. This is not right. Fishy. The kidnapping. Good job, Analea. Bring El Mayo to face charges in Mexico. Then they can file their extradition to the U.S. is applicable. We shall see. Tyler H. I think Joaquin tricked him with the help of politicians and DEA and CIA. Tyler, they just told you everything it was. Joaquin tricked them with the help of politicians and snatched them up. That's what they're saying. Salutes to Tyler on the check-in. Shout out Upper Echelon on the check-in. Salutes. If it's even applicable with this BS that they've pulled, we shall see. Also, Shay, not to be rushing or anything, do you know kind of when you'll start the series? Bro, we've been talking about that Traidor since the end of season 2. Since the end of Cartel Wives. But we got a lot on our plate. So any series is gonna have to wait right now. If the Twins documentary, well, that's probably the documentary's probably just a movie. So I don't know, but it's gonna be a while, dog. I don't know what I don't know when that's gonna happen. Upper Echelon, I hope you and your family are blessed. Blessings to everyone. Salutes to you. All right. For this reason, investigative elements went to the Doña Ana Airport in Santa Teresa, New Mexico, with authorization from the U.S. authorities since El MAYO was arrested there, but they were unable to obtain sufficient evidence against Joaquin Guzman Lopez. Various data requested from the U.S. Department of Justice that have been provided to date, such as the authorization from CBP on the flight on which El Mayo Zambada and Joaquin Lopez arrived, the advanced passenger information document, among others. Report from the U.S. radar security system in the border area with Mexico, certificate from the immigration authorities regarding the reception of that flight at the Santa Teresa Airport, New Mexico, pilots, passengers, passports, valid visas, certificates from customs regarding identification and inspection of people and belongings, identification, data of the pilot, registration number of the plane at the time of the landing, legality and origin of the registration, identification of the aircraft he listed, FAA aeronautical records on the aircraft's registration and serial number, including a historical analysis whether the serial number that appears on the aircraft's door, as well as the registration number N287KA, are legal, and whether they historically correspond to that aircraft today, or if there's any irregularity in this regard. The actual serial number of said aircraft, and whether it was changed at any part. Did I move ahead? No, I didn't. The international affairs of the wait. He added the serial has been modified. Let's see. He added that the AIC has already located the clandestine runway near Culiacan, Sinaloa, from which the aircraft in which El Mayo Zambada and the son of El Chapo Guzman left Mexico, bound for the United States, took off, and has data on the takeoff and flight, as well as the approval that was obtained to land on the U.S. territory. The international affairs area of the FGR and Interpol Mexico have formally requested the following information from the Department of Justice in the United States of America, which has not been provided to date. Prior authorization document from the United States Customs and Border Protection for the flight on which Mayo and Joaquin arrived. Advanced passenger information, report on the U.S. radar security, certificate from immigration authorities, customs certificates, pilot identification data, registration numbers of the aircraft identification, so on and so forth, as we reach the bottom of the jump off. Southside 77, salute Shy, another truck driver here. I watch all the replays, and of course I hit all the like buttons to every live and other video. Salutes to you. We appreciate you for it. Safe travels to you. Take your time, take it easy, and be easy. Salutes to you, man. Hit the like button, y'all. All right. So, now I want to go back to what Albert was saying. Albert said the big key there is that he was cremated ASAP. I didn't even know that. The autopsy straight to the oven after. Oh, no. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. You know? They couldn't have him sitting around. They need to get that out of there. So yeah, that's why I made your question or your comment wait, because I had no clue about it being that crazy. Whew, that shit is nuts. All right, man. Shout out Heck Perez for the Cash App. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Salutes to y'all. No.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Shout out Pure Art. Salutes to you. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. All right. So boom, we got through that. That's very fishy. Very, very fishy. All right. Autopsy. Throw him in the fire. Threw him right in the fire. Got him out of here. Pure Art said, I saw the Ocran Leaks. Salutes. Got him out of there. Got him out of there. All right, I don't know that there's much else to cover about Mayo for today. And that whole thing, we got Ocran Leaks side of the story. We could look at the video real quick of the gas station situation with Melesio Quinn. But this is fishy. All right, here's the video. Supposedly he pulls in with a truck and blah, blah, blah.
Es la primera vez que se muestra este video.
We already covered this, but we just spoke about it.
Forma
So
parte de la carpeta de investigación. Ahí está. Esto fue en la noche del jueves 25.
now, Guillermo, you mean that Fausto could be the guy talking in this video? That'd be hilarious.
Es una camioneta por
Boom.
rato, por
There's
blanca,
supposedly
que
Malesio Quinn's
llega.
truck.
La estación Pemex,
pulls
está
up for
la
gas.
plaza norte de la ciudad.
The attendant is still there. They still do that in Mexico, evidently. The attendant pop the gas cap,
Por
pop the
lado
nozzle in,
derecho
get the
llega
gassing
una
it up.
motocicleta.
This bike comes past them, I believe makes a little U-turn.
Se acerca.
See if I can hear something.
Se les acerca y se van directamente contra.
That's it, he's done. That to me ain't a robbery, that's an assassination if somebody did get smoked in that truck.
Se van directamente contra él.
Robbery takes a little time. You know, a botched attempt, whatever. But, you know.
El acompañante y no contra el chofer.
Joraya says she sent a better view on Discord. Salutes, because I haven't seen that. Let me get this out of here. Let's go to the Discord. That's what the Discord is amazing for right there. Let's see. Wow. Here we go. And how far did that truck get before he fell out?
Sinaloa.
No me grites. I'm going to lower this man talking because I don't want to interpret everything he's saying. This is better camera. Definitely better camera. Same same angle, but definitely better view. Why this dude look like Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean and shit? Y'all can't unsee it now. Y'all will never unsee it now. Look like Mr. Bean, bro. Come on, man. It's Mr. Bean right there. All right. Way cleaner. Much cleaner. Better quality. All right, these guys make their U-turn. Oh, he didn't show us the whole thing. I see the truck getting towed. Oh, okay. The narrator with the black Ocran Leaks, for sure.
Bajo estricta vigilancia, en este caso, la Fiscalía General de la República, esta camioneta Ford Raptor, modelo reciente, donde fue atacado y perdió la vida Héctor Melesio Cuen Ojeda. Esto.
I know, I didn't see him in that truck. You know. Salutes, Guillermo. I appreciate you. Oh, my bad.
Neta del video, esta que se
Come on, man. Rowan Atkinson.
ve la que se
Mr. Bean.
presume que estaba el señor Cuen.
I wish Ocran Leaks did better translations in English. Whoever does his English videos need to be fired. They don't match the words as good and sounds weird. Gotta pay to play. Can't see it, only hear it. My bad. Be back in a few minutes. I can't hear.
Neta del video, esta que se ve la que se presume que estaba el señor Cuen y fue asesinado, la del video de la gasolinera. Felicitos Trujillo.
He's not
¿Tienes
gonna show us
información?
the whole
Bueno, que
thing.
esta camioneta ya
He's
está
gonna
en
show
poder
us
de la
that
Fiscalía de la
truck on
República.
a.
Buenos días, Felicitos.
Buen día.
He's gonna show us that truck on
Buenos días, Ciro.
a tow truck on a
Muy buenos
flatbed.
días, estamos aquí dando.
Right here.
Pues esta camioneta que la Fiscalía General de Sinaloa tenía en su poder, la trasladó bajo estricta vigilancia en este caso, la Fiscalía General de la República, esta camioneta Ford Raptor modelo
What's the fiscal? What's the fiscalía or whatever that is?
reciente, donde fue atacado y perdió
Local
la vida
government.
Héctor Melesio Cuen Ojeda. Esto ocurrió el pasado 25 de julio. Fue trasladado bajo, pues, bastante seguridad en una grúa y escoltada por una patrulla de investigación. Lo podemos ver en un video de seguridad captado ayer y difundido a través de las redes sociales.
Got
El
a police
caso
escort
ha
for the
sido
truck.
declinado por la Fiscalía General del Estado a la Fiscalía General de la República.
Pero no se ve que sea el señor Cuen. Abre la puerta y dispara. allá de la palabra de
Oh man said it too. He said, man, they open the door, they do whatever they do, but you can't see Quinn.
y el chofer. No hay otro dato. En el video que hemos presentado se ve que alguien abre la puerta y dispara. Pero no se ve que sea el señor Cuen quien viaja ahí. No estamos diciendo que no lo sea.
He's
Pero
saying
no
we don't see Melesio Quinn there. We're not saying he's not in there. We're just saying we don't see him, and I'm saying the same thing. We don't see him.
Ninguna prueba. Supongo que ahora la Fiscalía General de la República hará con la sangre encontrada, podrá hacer algún estudio que confirme que sí era el señor Melesio Cuen quien iba en el asiento copiloto de la camioneta esa noche.
Shout out Zoraida. Federal prosecutor equals Fiscalía Federal. Okay, salutes. Thank you.
Del jueves 25 de julio a las 9:30 de la noche en esta gasolinera al norte de Culiacán.
Exactamente, pues no se puede.
Al norte de Culiacán.
Exactamente, pues no se puede apreciar. Ya le hemos realizado una revisión al video.
That ain't no robbery, bro. That's an assassination attempt.
Y pues no se alcanza a ver.
And in reality, he didn't even have. What if the door wasn't open? You know what I'm saying? Like, this just looks weird. What if the door was locked? Then he was gonna what? Reach up and shoot through the window? Beep, 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 beep. Huh? Go to the... I just don't get it.
No, quién la manejaba o quién iba ahí. La silueta así de los jóvenes que van en motocicleta, los que perpetraron el crimen.
Where did that truck end up? Where's the crime scene footage? Any of that? There's none of that. Right? We got a grainy ass, just like the Nipsey Hussle video, grainy ass gas station, video. But, I don't know.
Y tampoco se ve un destello de bala. Lo que sí se alcanza a ver es un destello de una patrulla por allá en la parte superior derecha de este video. Y al parecer también es la misma camioneta Ford Raptor la que parece que se alcanza a ver ahí.
Right, I wondered that too. If this was that truck. Now, what we're seeing here is what we saw before. Lights, a patrol car.
Pues no se
Did
puede
it go after
apreciar,
Nosotros felicito.
Did it go after
saber, ¿no? ¿Quién la manejaba? Exactamente.
There's the
Pues no se
motorcycle.
puede
It's gonna
apreciar.
go
Ya
here.
le hemos realizado una revisión al video.
They go this way,
pues
they're gonna bust a left on the
quién la
street.
manejaba o quién iba ahí. La silueta así de los
bust
jóvenes
the
que van
left,
en motocicleta, los que perpetraron el
drive past,
crimen. Y tampoco se ve un destello de bala. Lo que sí se alcanza a ver
and
es
then
un
we see
destello de una
lights.
patrulla por allá en la parte superior derecha de este video.
And then we see
y al
what
parecer
may
también
be
es la misma camioneta Ford Raptor la que parece que
the
se
same
alcanza a ver
truck
ahí cerca
that
de esa
got
patrulla muy
supposedly
a lo lejos.
assassinated,
Y las autoridades salieron al paso con este video
driving away,
luego de que pues surgió
and hitting
la
his
carta del
brakes.
Mayo Zambada. En un inicio
He
tenían
stopped
la
all the way over
versión
there.
de que esto se habría tratado de un intento de robo de vehículo, que le habían querido robar esta camioneta Ford Raptor
Nah, man.
a
That
la
ain't no robbery, you ask me. Straight.
Cuen y a su acompañante, que tampoco vimos que pues le hayan apuntado siquiera al conductor, ¿no?
En
Como
ningún
ocurre en estos
momento
casos.
parece
Sí,
que
Ciro,
se
aquí
trate de un robo, a juzgar por el video. Pero en ningún momento.
He's saying at no moment does it look like a robbery if you're watching this video. I'm saying the same shit.
En Culiacán son frecuentes los robos de vehículos. Es el pan nuestro cada día.
En Culiacán
no se ven,
y en todo el país, felicitos.
Pero con esta, Ciro, nos ha tocado ver y tenemos videos de cámaras de seguridad cuando por estos casos, o sea, son totalmente muy diferentes cuando van a andar robando carros. Cuando por estos casos, o sea, son videos de cámaras de seguridad cuando por estos casos, o sea, son
Yeah, but he looked like he reaching his waistband with his left hand, right? But you're right. When he got off the bike, his hands are free. He's holding the bike. He's holding onto his boy's back. But then he might reach with his left hand for his waistband as the door opens.
Nos ha tocado ver y tenemos videos de cámaras de seguridad cuando por estos casos.
Shout out Felix Reyes. He should have went for the driver. He could have pulled up right here. Could have pulled up right here. Bang, bang, bang.
sea, son totalmente muy diferentes. De cámaras de seguridad cuando ocurren estos casos, o sea, tenemos videos
Yeah, he opens the door with his right hand, but I think he's reaching with his
o sea,
left.
son totalmente muy diferentes cuando van a andar robando carros a esto que acabamos de ver acá.
Sí.
Por eso dice que cambia la investigación, incluso van a hacer revisión del teléfono celular de Cuen.
Shout out Pure Art. Could be Sinaloa's Netflix. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Y va a haber de
I don't see no
nuevo
robbery there. I'll
una
say that much.
citación para Fausto
like button,
Corrales, hijo de Víctor Antonio Corrales, presidente del partido sinaloense, para declarar en torno a qué había pasado, ¿no? En dónde había estado Cuen, dice, durante todo este tiempo, porque pues por ahí hay algunas horas desde lo que se declaró, desde lo que conocimos al inicio.
Who leaves the door open like that? Just unlocked. A guy with a driver with an unlocked door, and supposedly he had a driver. Like, this video looks like it's some cockamamie bullshit, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not buying it. So should I see it? Yeah, I think he was reaching. It's a very small video, but shout out. I believe his name is Mark Hab in the Discord. I don't know. He's questioning in there. He could probably be in here in the live chat. So if it's true that MAYO was kidnapped and delivered to U.S. authorities, how come there was no aggression or war going on in Mexico? They just going to let it slide or wait 3 months until they take action? When the video was captured, and yeah, two different things. Two different things. But I can't answer him right now because he's in the Discord, and I'm just using the Discord as a tool right now. I'm over here. So salutes to you, sir. Jump over here if you can. Right? Swipe over the comments box, and you should see the live stream or the live chat. Some cars unlock when you put them on park, depending on the settings. Well, shit, knowing me, that's a setting I would have figured out already. Him being a politician in a place where politicians end up swinging from bridges, he should have had that shit locked. Yeah, unalive, it looks like he could barely open that big truck door. The police lights up. Yes, it does. Was that their escort, Rhino? Who knows? I don't know. Sounds crazy. Looks crazy to me. All right, y'all. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out. We got one more thing I want to cover before we get out of here. Unless anybody got any new news on Pete never said blood in the back of the truck. That would the first thought, Pete never would be, they already did what they were gonna do with him, with Mr. Quinn, and maybe that's him scattered across the back of the truck, and this is all a throw off right here. Who knows? That's how they do it in Mexico. They always escort cars like that. 100 salutes. But that could be it, Pete. They already did him dirty. We gotta go take his go make this story happen. We take his truck to this gas station. They pull a robbery where they open the door, bang, 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 close the door, ride out. Like, I don't know. Could be anything. That's one thing we have not had is a lack of theories involving this story. There's so many moving parts. So many moving parts, so many different authorities, the Fiscalía Federal, the prosecutors, the cartels themselves, there's a lot. Are you counting those? Whatever your name was, person of no consequence, Netflix series, can't wait to see it. Salutes, Jonathan. All right. What's the next? The next thing I want to do is something that we didn't get into last time that I'd like to get into today, because people were telling me the story. Don't be surprised if you see Shayo on the Netflix series. It's my job. Rilo said fire content. I'm not buying it. Salutes. The guy at the pump didn't even run or hide. Nah, buddy probably get aired out every day. He's used to the sound of that shit. He not worried about it. He not worried about it. Salutes. All right. But I wanted to cover the story of Don Alejo, 77-year-old man who was unalive defending his ranch from Los Zetas, right? Story along the lines of the great, what is her name? Why am I losing it right now? It's alive. The great Miriam Rodriguez. Salutes. A story along those lines. Somebody that decided to fight back against the monster. All right, so I want to check that out. Shout out Pure Art, best YouTube channel. Shah Il Yi, one love from San Jose, California. Salutes to you, sir. I heard today, a little update, because y'all know I'm a big Cain Velasquez fan. Heck Perez said that dude's a G. Talking about Don Alejo. I don't know the story, but I'm about to get into it. I binge watched 14 episodes of the Zach TV. It was good. Salutes to you. I appreciate you, Pete Never. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sad story. That was a sad story. Cain Velasquez pleaded no contest to avoid a life sentence, or what could be a life sentence. For those that don't know, the daycare his family had their children in, the son, which was an older man in his 40s, of the people that owned the daycare, was SAing and abusing these children, and abused Cain's children, and was put on home confinement with a monitor. And Cain couldn't stomach that, so he caught them on a trip to the courthouse and he aired them out. Hit the wrong person, hit the stepfather, did not unalive him. Cain did something that many men say that they would do and a lot of men wouldn't. But what anyone that has conviction upon himself would do, and went after his child's abuser. So I'm hoping that he don't have to serve no more time, because if there's one dude that doesn't deserve to serve time, if there's one dude who is a testament to himself, his family, his community, and the generations that came before him, it's Cain Velasquez. So his sentencing will be in October, and hopefully they give him some time served, some probation. Give him 10 years probation. Give him 5 years probation. He ain't a knucklehead. He just did what a man got to do. Salutes. All right, but yeah, so let's get into this. This is from the club. I'm not a big fan of the club's videos because they seem to do outrageous titles. I don't know. Let me make sure I'm not saying it about the wrong channel, but I think this is the channel. Let me open this in another tab. They have they have titles that promise footage of this and that, and I don't even look at them because I know they're not true. Cain Velasquez from Salinas, California, definitely, but AKA San Jose. Salutes. Cain did that. Salutes to Cain. But yeah, so this video is very fantastical in the way they approach it with AI and stuff like that. But I figure this is a story that they can't corrupt much because other people have told it. So if we find any inconsistencies in this, then we'll look other places for Don Alejo's story. But I did want to get into this. I want to know the basics of his story. I haven't covered it before, but it's something that I'm interested in. All right. Again, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me on this. What's today? Today's Friday. On this Friday night. All right. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. 74 concurrent viewers, 70 likes. That's nice. If you have yet to hit the like button yet, please do so. If you have yet to subscribe, do that too. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you can, become a member. We appreciate you. If you like to text to speech, there's 2 links in the description where you can get text to speech, and your comment can pop up on my screen and be read aloud by the AI and myself and responded to. $2 minimum donation for that. It's the Power Chat link and the Streamlabs link in the description, either or. We also have super chat, super thanks, and super likes available for those that can support the channel on that level. With that being said, we're gonna move on to our next topic again. And pay attention to shout out Pete Never. Pete Never said he binge watched the Zach TV1 playlist. I'm gonna drop these playlists in here. We got my True Crimes playlist, got over 100 videos in there, recent videos in there of true crime stories that I've covered. We also have the tragic death of Zach TV1 story that I covered. I'm also gonna drop the Surviving El Chapo playlist and the Cartel Wise playlist, right? For those that haven't seen those, please hit the like button when you watch these channels. Always remember, if you would like to support the channel with a super thanks, you could do that as well on the replays and on the edited videos, all right? I already dropped the Discord. I'll drop that again. But make sure you check out this channel. Got a lot to offer more than just these live streams. You've missed a lot of stuff in the last year. We've been working hard over here. Salutes, hundreds up. Right? We also have the Ill Shop. Shout out. Somebody said earlier, I forget who it was. No, I think it was 030. 030 said, remember when they used to, with the dude that called Chapo El Guapo? Absolutely. Which is why we made the El Guapo barbecue grill apron. Not to be mistaken with El Chapo, the El Guapo jump off. Salutes. All right, so
Jonathan Panto just sent $5 salutes. Kill, my dude. Thank you for your determined, dedicated hard work and your resilient self for all that you do for us and your great quality content. Shout out to the chat and Il Cartel members. Like and subscribe. It's free. 100 points.
100 points. Salutes Jonathan Pantoja, Freeman, Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Nice Guy's Watch. Salute Sha'il, my dude. Thank you for your determined, dedicated hard work and your resilient self for all that you do for us and great quality content. Shout out to the chat and the Il Cartel members. Like and subscribe. It is free. It is for the free. I appreciate you, Jonathan. Thank you for your power chat. Thank you for giving a great example of what the power chat looks like. So salutes, all right? Shout out Danny Mendoza on the check-in. Appreciate you, sir. Sam Romero said, I just parked for the night. I'm going to eat dinner and watch the live. Salutes to you, Sam Romero. Buen provecho. Safe travels. What happened to El Russo? That we don't know. We something we might have to look into or we'll hear about in the near future as these things unfold, and they will continue to. Truck driver, by the way, I already know. Salute Sam Romero, man. We appreciate you truck drivers out there. Everybody out there on the road, get your shut-eye and get that money, all right? Stay safe out there. Salutes. I'm glad I get to roll with y'all, all right? Sometimes if you happen to catch us live, check in. Let us know where you at on the road, man, so I could wish I was there. Put a pin in the map. Salutes. All right. Let's get it.
This is a story that Mexican cartels don't want you to know about. Don Alejo was a 77-year-old man when the cartel tried to bully and intimidate him off his farm, but they soon realized that he wouldn't go quietly and evoked a David versus Goliath story for the modern ages. Who is Don Alejo? Don Alejo did what the cartel never could. He earned an honest living. He was born in 1933 near Allende, Nuevo León, which is in northeastern Mexico, and not too far from the Texan border. He and his brothers earned jobs as timber workers in the nearby city of Monterrey. He soon earned enough money to buy his own ranch. He struck a bargain and found a 200-hectare plot of land further east in Tamaulipas. It was a wasteland when he first bought the land, but he gradually transformed it into a rich and bountiful stretch of land. He named this ranch San Jose, after his father, Jose Garza, who taught him the meaning of hard work. Don Alejo had a love for nature and farming, but above all, he loved hunting, and was known for his incredibly accurate shot. He soon started a family, and with his wife Leticia, he had 2 girls, Marcela and Alejandra. Over the decades, the drug trade grew in Mexico, but by the 2000s, a brutal drug war was taking place between Los Zetas and their parent organization, the Gulf Cartel. The roads of Tamaulipas were suddenly dangerous places to be, as there were often robberies and kidnappings for ransom. And then these drug gangs began their extortion rackets on farmers in the local community. The cartel would offer protection for a monthly payment.
That's my thing, man. People sit around and pick and choose the people that they're gonna back up. This is my cartel. I love them, right? But you go to work every day, right? You're not in the cartel. You're not dealing with nothing. You're not selling no nickel bags. You're not selling no kilos. You're not doing nothing. You live with your family. You go to work. You do your thing with your family. You take your time, but you pick the side. Yeah, I'm with this side or that side, right? Man, those sides are coming to oppress people just like you and take your shit, everything you worked for. Let's see if you're gonna be, supporting your heroes when they come for your money. This old man wasn't having it, huh? You coming for what I work for now? I don't got nothing to do with you. But because you've been able to mount up weapons and mount up crash dummies, right? You want to come take mine? All right, cool. I'll be your huckleberry. All right, I'm not going alone. It'd be like that. Shout out Miriam Rodriguez.
Where the cartel was protecting farmers from the cartel. It was a nasty way of taking a cut of the
cartel was protecting farmers from the cartel.
hard-earned money from farmers in the local community. But occasionally things got even worse than that. The cartel would sometimes simply evict farmers off their property and transform their land into training camps and hideouts, among other things. Don Alejo was keenly aware of what was going on. He managed to live most of his life as a simple, hard-working businessman who earned an honest living, while El Chapo and other drug lords argued that he had no choice but to enter the drug trade. Don Alejo was proving them wrong. His friends found him to be incredibly hardworking and reliable, and remarked that a promise from Don Alejo was as good as a contract. He had escaped running into the cartels until he was 77 years old. On November 12th, 2010, members of the...
All right, hold on. Oh, I ruined that.
About to...
Hold on. I gotta go back.
All social media. Eventually, the news of Don...
Hit the wrong button. He went 77 years without having to run in a public one or one that we know of with the cartel, right? When everybody said, oh, he's gonna have to eventually. He never did. Till he was 77, right? I'm sure people around him thought to themselves, oh, if he got past it this long, they're never gonna come for him. The day came, they came a-knocking, all right? Everybody could be touched. Everybody's time comes. All of the above. Stop this because he did it for 40 years. You know, it's going to be forever. Nah, people figure you out. People say, he's not the threat he used to be. Get him. And they get you. Right? It's just what it is.
That a promise from Don Alejo was as good as a contract. He had escaped running into the cartels until he was 77 years old. On November 12th, 2010, members of the Los Zetas cartel came knocking on his door. At this time, they were one of Mexico's deadliest drug cartels, known for their torture techniques, murders, and beheadings. Let's just say that they weren't coming over to borrow a cup of sugar. The cartel knocks on his door. The cartel explained who they were and that they were taking his home from him, but Don Alejo refused to bow to their demands. So the men at his door gave him an ultimatum. He had 24 hours to collect all of his things and leave the town forever. This way, he could scrape up a lot of his precious belongings and avoid any things and send who they were over to cartels, known for their torture techniques, murders, and beheadings. Let's just say that they weren't coming over to borrow a cup of sugar. The cartel knocks on his door. The cartel explained who they were and that they were taking his home from him, but Don Alejo refused to bow to their demands. So the men at his door gave him an ultimatum. He had 24 hours to collect all of his things and leave the town forever. This way, he could scrape up a lot of his precious belongings and avoid any violent repercussions. But Don Alejo also refused this offer. The cartel then proposed a less generous offer. They told him that they were coming back that night. By then, it will be the cartel's property, and he...
So they came and said, hey, man, give me everything that you've worked for the 77 years you've been on this planet. Right? That's it. Just got to give it up. And then you guys be like, those, well done. Right? Then you evil. Well, the problem is you evil and broke. Because you're not on their level. You know? Like, Pure Art, he over here gangbanging in the name of cartels. They don't give a shit about you, bro. Who are you to them? Nobody. Dan Mendoza said, that's right. Safe travels to all our truck drivers. Salutes. I'm in a Texas truck stop near Whataburger. Salutes to you, Sam Romero. Enjoy. Savage. Puro Scorpion. I don't know what that means, bro. Puro Golfo. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Speak that truth, side. Don Alejo went to war with the Zetas by himself, unalived a bunch of them till they took him out. I mean, you're giving me no other choice. See, a lot of people say, oh, but so-and-so won't do this and that circumstance and so-and-so. Bro, when your back is against the wall, you left without a choice. It's quietly, say your last words, or violently say your last words. I choose violence in that. See, I get demonetized for this, but it is what it is. All right, there we go. Miss Cabra, or miscellaneous, bruh. We're going to call you Miss. All right. Ari Redknapp, he's in the building. Salutes. 030 North on Pure Artes bumper, boy. Shout out 030 North. But the government really couldn't do it, Shy. Let's be honest. What are you talking about, 298? What are you talking about? The government couldn't do what? Pure Art, you can't put links in this chat. It won't work. So if MAYO kidnapped, why Sinaloa is so quiet? There's been a lot of reasons, a lot of speculation on that, and a lot of people have had a lot of different ideas about it. I mean, we expect the bloodbath that came with the Culiacanazos, but when you're done with a chess game, you clear the chessboard, you start over. You know what I mean? This is a different chess game they're playing now, right? There's military involved. There's deals involved. There's precaution involved. There's already a war amongst themselves and the people around them. It could be a million different reasons. Now, do we hear about violence in Sinaloa? Yeah. Do we hear about 9 bodies at 5 in the morning, 12 bodies at this time, whatever? Yeah. It's just not out loud and in the public like the Culiacanazo was. We're not going to get that yet. I don't think. But there could be a million different reasons why it hasn't moved like that. You know? It doesn't necessarily mean that it debunks the kidnapping theory. You know? That's my take on it. Salutes. 298 said, get MAYO. But the government really couldn't do it, Shy. Let's be honest. They couldn't get MAYO. I don't know what that has to do with what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm lost. Bro, this dude is talking a lot of BS for real. Who? 298, what are you talking about? Shout out Sheldon on the check-in. Appreciate you. Hit that like button. I agree, sir. Not many did what the Senor Alejo did. I want to know what he did. I'm about to get back into it. 298, clear it up. I don't know what's happening out there, bro.
He will be a trespasser on their property. So.
Everybody's always asking me in the comments and sometimes in the live chat, Shy, can you give me a timestamp of the Netflix show of El Chapo where they show was supposed to be the twins? And I'm like, are you people crazy that I'm going to go siphon through a whole series that I've already seen to find something for you? You got to do the legwork for the things that you're looking for in life. All right? But by a stroke of luck, and I'll call it pure genius, just cuz, here we go. It's a very small pieces that they play on this El Chapo show, but this, and I always told y'all, if you're looking for the twins on the Chapo show, just look for the 2 guys that look like jerk-offs with their hats broke off like this. All right? Because that's how they depicted the twins in this. Okay? There they are, right there in front of you, walking through that door. This is supposed to be Peter and Jay Flores right here. All right? They're Chicago, bro. They got, jeans on and their hats broke off to the left or right. You know what I mean? There it is. Now you got it. Hit the like button, man. Nobody getting that. Y'all wanted that look? Y'all had me wanting y'all wanted to have me looking through Netflix for it? There it is. Right? Pete and Jay Flores. Okay? That's as daddy Yankee as they could get them on this series right here.
Will be killed, whether he stayed that
That's hilarious. Let's go back.
the cartel's property, and he will be a trespasser on their property.
There
So
you go, bruh. That's it. So if you see those guys, if you watch the El Chapo series on Netflix, and you see those 2 guys, that's supposed to be the twins. All right? Pay attention to the storyline, and you would have known that. Salutes. Man, if you look up TJ News, it's been active as F. It's not only a Culiacan either. Shit's going down on all fronts, and I believe that. I believe there's going to be things going on. I just think people are too used to the idea that it's going to be a Culiacanazo and there's going to be helicopters and trucks and grenade launchers. And it's like, nah, maybe Mayo don't handle shit that way. Maybe they can't. Maybe, you know, they're spread too thin. Not just them. Every one of those cartels that have been fighting each other, you know? So, boom. There you have it right there, man. The Flores twins. As a matter of fact, I'm going to find a picture of these two guys and I'm going to start using those pictures in some of my thumbnails and shit. Salutes. All right. Danny Mendoza said, oh, there they are. Look how they dressed them. Exactly. Did Pete and Jay dirty? Absolutely did. So I just watched, I watched it just to see it the other day, and they screwed them with the guys that they threw some hats on them, said, okay, you put your hat over here, you put your hat over here, let's go. All right, salutes. Done deal, let's get it.
He will be killed. Whether he stayed that night was up to him, but one way or another, the cartel that night. By then, it will be the cartel's property, and he will be a trespasser on their property. So he will be killed.
So they're going to take his property. They're going to take the man's property. Yeah, man, and salutes. I hope I answered your question, you know, Miss or Ari. Salutes.
Cushions, but
it is, the war is going down. It is happening, you know.
Don Alejo also refused this offer. The cartel then proposed a less generous offer. They told him that they were coming back that night. By then, it will be the cartel's property, and he will be a trespasser on their property. So he will be killed. Whether he stayed that night was up to him, but one way or another, the cartel was coming.
Woo! They did them so dirty. They were like, yo, we got to put the Chinese letter button-ups, the tank tops, right? They need Figaros and Cubans. You got to put some earrings in them, all right? And they're from Chicago. Make sure you bust their hats off to the right or left. Hold on, let me screenshot this shit right here. I got to screenshot this. Hold on, man. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I need this right here. Yo, Netflix out of pocket. Jonathan said, thank you for coming through with that clip. They did them bogus, boy. Oh, hold on. I did it with the, no, I did it without the, chat on it. I knocked the chat down just so you can see, you can really see, you know, whichever one this is. I don't know if this J and this is P. Y'all can decide for yourself, but Netflix did them dirty. That was foul. Looks like the new Simpsons movie. That Simpsons movie is fake. That's AI too. Man, Aaliyah said the bootleg version for real. See, I told you I was going to send Jay a message, but I forgot. People want to see Culiacanazo because we're safe on this side. But think about the innocent people that have to go through that violence. Yeah, man. What you know. But that's us as humans. Humans were mad at the end of The Sopranos because they wanted to see Tony's outcome. They wanted to see him splattered on the walls. That's what we want. We wanted a Culiacanazo. That's why people are still out there saying, oh, he turned himself in because they don't want to. Come on, we were supposed to be see an action scene where mad innocent people on the other side, you know, on the other side of the TV that's in real life are suffering through. Nah, man, you're wilding. Right? Yeah, y'all got a kick out of that. Make a poster of it. Have them sign it. Yeah, man. You know, if anybody ever asks me, hey, have you ever seen the Flores twins? You know what they look like? I'm going to show them this picture right here. Yo, those twins look like they're wearing Jordan flights. Yeah? No, they're wearing Shaqs, bro. They're in Shaqs right now. Salutes. No disrespect to Shaqs. These homies look like Guatemalans from Puerto Rican descent. They did them dirty. Yes, they did. All right, we're done, man. We got our fun at the Twins' expense. It's Netflix fault. Don't blame me. I ain't make this shit happen. They don't even look like twins. That's a fact. Netflix, F Netflix. I didn't want to see him caught. You didn't want to see who caught? Mayo caught? Pete? Never? You didn't want to see Mayo caught? Why?
Don Alejo told them he was going nowhere and that he would see them later that night. As one
They said, listen, man, you could leave. You got 24 hours to get out of Dodge. We never see you again. He said, nah. They said, all right, we're going to take over your ranch today. When you show up here tonight, you're going to be trespassing. We're going to end you. He said, nah, I won't take that either.
One of Don Alejo's friends, Weibo, had at night was up to him, but one way or another, the cartel was coming. Don Alejo told them he was going nowhere, and that he would see them later that night. As one of Don Alejo's friends, Weibo, had once said of the incident, he would never have worked his whole life to one day let someone take everything from him. That is not his nature. And Don Alejo was clearly aware that he simply could not just go to the police. In some ways, the cartels were the police and ran rural Mexico. To give you a quick example, Ovidio Guzman, the son of El Chapo, was arrested in 2019, but on the threat of violence from the cartel, he was suddenly released again. The cartel vastly outweighs the police in terms of its membership, weaponry, and willingness to cause violence. And this wasn't any cartel on his doorstep. This was Los Zetas. A year before they arrived, Don Alejo would have come across this news story.
72 immigrants from Ecuador, Guatemala, and Honduras were murdered in Tamaulipas state in Mexico. The victims were
72. Like, why you gotta smoke 72 people for?
Murdered in an area of geography controlled by the Zetas, which is a very ruthless and powerful cartel operating inside of Mexico.
Don Alejo had chosen a battle not many would dream about. Don Alejo's secret stash. The cartel saw him as an old, feeble man and assumed that tonight's work would be relatively easy. What they didn't know is that Don Alejo has lived his entire life in fear of the cartel. He knew that one day they were coming, and the cartel had foolishly given him ample time to prepare. In his cellar, Don Alejo had a...
Come on, man. Why nobody's making this movie? These are the movies I want to watch. You think I don't want to watch an old man do some Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin level, booby traps and shit like that to unalive some adults that are coming to victimize him? That's the movie I want to watch, man. Do I got to write it myself?
Secret stash of weapons. These were mainly hunting rifles that you would expect any farmer to have, but living in rural Mexico, where the cartel could literally end up on your doorstep, he decided to buy his hunting rifles in bulk. Don Alejo did the opposite of calling for backup. He had several men working for him on his farm, but he didn't want them dragged.
Shout out Pete Nevin for the $10 super chat. This is a good live support, people. Salutes to you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Did the opposite of calling for backup on your doorstep, he decided to buy his hunting rifles in bulk. Don Alejo did the opposite of calling for backup. He had several men working for him on his farm, but he didn't want them dragged into this mess. He told them all to go home and have an early weekend. He told them to take away all the livestock and take away any valuables that they had from the land. He didn't explain why and let them spend time with their families. Had he not...
I feel like Sylvester Stallone took this idea and made that last Rambo on the rancho and shit. I think they have a serious one on Netflix about this. Oh, I'd like to see that. I need to look it up. See if you can find the name for that, Danny Mendoza, when you get a chance. I appreciate you. Salute, guys. I'll be back. Unfortunately, I gotta go do something. Handle that business, sir. All right? If we're not back before you get back, you are appreciated. We will see you in the Discord. Salutes. Facts. Told him that's how we do shit around here. Not serious, but serious. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'd like to see that. I think that's dope. If it's not that, the one that they just told me about, Somos, I haven't gotten into it yet. I haven't had time, man. I was too busy last night beating up a troll. Salutes.
Made this move at home and have an early weekend. He told them to take away all the livestock.
All right, so I'm going to let this play while I go refresh my drink. Salutes.
Where the cartel could literally end up on your doorstep, he decided to buy his hunting rifles in bulk. Don Alejo did the opposite of calling for backup. He had several men working for him on his farm, but he didn't want them dragged into this mess. He told them all to go home and have an early weekend. He told them to take away all the livestock and take away any valuables that they had from the land. He didn't explain why and let them spend time with their families. Had he not made this move, those families could have had their lives ruined forever. Joaquin Estrada, a trusted employee of Don Alejo and close friend, knew something was up but agreed to leave. He would be the last friend he would bid farewell to that night. Don Alejo's final word to his friend that night was for him to go to see his family, waiting for the second call. The cartel had ambiguously told him that they were coming back later that night, so once the sun went down, he prepared himself for the worst, and he assumed that they would arrive at pitch dark rather than when nightfall had just begun. But before the sun went down, Don Alejo made a phone call. He called his wife and believed that this might be the final time he would hear her voice.
Hold on. I gotta hear in detail what this gangster shit this old man's over here doing. There's a real short film, like short. It's on YouTube, but he deserves a movie. I want to find that too. If you can find that, Albert, I appreciate you. I appreciate your input. Salutes. Friday is lit, and it's barely 8 p.m. in California. Salutes. Shit, it's 10:30 over here. Creo que that's the one. Somos. Okay, I gotta get into that show. I'm gonna try it tonight. I should be done here early enough to take advantage of that. Tomorrow, I plan on doing a members only live. So we'll try to do a members only live. I don't know if it's gonna be fight night coverage. I know there's UFC fights tomorrow. Dricus Duplessis versus Israel Adesanya. So expect the members only live. And will I go all the way live? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Danny, give us the name. Yo quiero ver. It might be Somos. Yeah, I think I think that's the right name. That's the one they told me about the other day, Zoraida. They put a trailer. I think it was Albert. He put a trailer in the Discord. We'll put another one up in there. JFL, where did you go? Te buscan. Shout out Pure Art. Creo que es Somos. Salutes.
You know what, my love? I love you. All this cheating. Right. Don Friend knew why and let away all the livestock and take away any valuables that they had from the land. He didn't explain why and let them spend time with their families. Had he not made this move, those families could have had their lives ruined forever. Joaquin Estrada, a trusted employee of Don Alejo and close friend, knew something was up but agreed to leave. He would be the last friend he would bid farewell to that night. Don Alejo's final word to his friend that night was for him to go to see his family, waiting for the second call. The cartel had ambiguously told him that they were coming back later that night, so once the sun went down, he prepared himself for the worst, and he assumed that they would arrive at pitch dark rather than when nightfall had just begun. But before the sun went down, Don Alejo made a phone call. He called his wife and believed that this might be the final time he would hear her voice. You know what, my love? I love you very much, Don Alejo.
He already made a decision, and he made friends with the worst possible outcome. He said his goodbyes, he said his I love yous, and what else can you ask of a man?
Said goodbye. Oh, my love, me too. Me more, his wife replied. Tomorrow, God willing, we are going to talk early. Don Alejo did not disclose the danger he was in, but promised his wife that he would call her at 8 a.m. the next morning. As nightfall loomed, he was now prepared for the attack. The hours went by, and as the clock ticked further and further toward the sunrise, he probably assumed that this could have been an empty threat. Perhaps the cartel thought that they could scare the old man to leave his home and then just walk into an empty home the next morning. But at 4 a.m., only an hour or two before dawn, the cartel arrived. And they didn't sneak into that farm either. They began honking their horns, flashing lights, and firing their guns into the air. They were aggressively claiming their newfound territory. When the cartel heard gunshots from the house, gunshots that were not their own, they realized that this old man was not bluffing when he said that he would see them later tonight. They learned the hard way that a promise from Don Alejo was as good as a contract. The battle begins. Don Alejo was protecting his home in the same way that medieval soldiers would hold a castle. He boarded up the windows but left gaps for him to see out. He would have had a rifle and ammunition. Soldiers would hold. The battle begins. Don Alejo was protecting his home in the same way that medieval soldiers
Who's this jerk off?
would hold.
Albert said he put it on Discord. Salutes. I appreciate you, sir. Heck Perez said, yes, it's almost. I checked on Google. Oh, now I was already excited to watch that shit, but I ain't had time. Now I'm more excited. Salutes. Appreciate y'all.
Hold the castle. He boarded up the windows but left gaps for him to see out. He would have had a rifle and ammunition at each window and could attack them from all areas. What the cartel didn't realize was that Don Alejo was an incredibly good shot. His hunting days meant that he had a lot of experience. Instead of deer or elk, he was now hunting members of a dangerous cartel. His shooting was so accurate that he was outperforming members of the cartel. Had he chosen a life of crime, he could have been incredibly successful, but he chose an honest living, and he was doing whatever it took to protect the home and land he spent his whole.
And you know what all them criminals call him? A dum-dum. He a dum-dum. But he lived his life. He had everything that he wanted, right? They was out after what they wanted. He had what he wanted. He did his thing. They want to come take it from him. No, Danny. Danny, are you in the Discord yet? Shout out, heck.
Whole life working on. His tactics were simple. Had he chosen
he had
a life,
what he wanted, but they would call him stupid. Now they got to duck and run for cover. He blasting at they goofy ass. Because they thought he was pussy just because he decided to live a straight life. Why? Because he probably looked around and said, all you guys are stabbing each other in the back. Huh? All you guys do is end up unalived or in the joint. All you guys do is betray each other. I don't want no part of that. Right? Then they think he's a punk and a pushover. Then they come for him and now he got them under fire. And the only reason is there's more people that when people have more to lose, You know, when people have that mentality that there's more to lose, there's less that are willing to go after it like that. It's a numbers game from there, because the evil are in abundance. The dudes that want to take everything and grape and pillage, ain't no lack of them. They're deep. So eventually, the old man's going to be at a point of diminishing returns, and they're going to end them. But I'm taking some of you bastards with me. It's a beautiful thing.
Cartel. His shooting was so accurate that he was outperforming members of the cartel. Had he chosen a life of crime, he could have been incredibly successful, but he chose an honest living, and he was doing whatever it took to protect the home and land he spent his whole life working on. His tactics were simple. Don Alejo would go to one window and shoot a cartel member stone dead. Then he would run over to another window and do the same. It was soon apparent that Don Alejo had just killed 4 cartel members.
Don Alejo was on some Billy the Kid shit, boy. Y'all seen Old Henry? I recommend Old Henry. Right? Don Alejo was on some old Henry shit. Window to window. Bow, bow. Take this.
Doing whatever it took to protect the home and land he spent his whole life working on. His tactics were simple. Don Alejo would go to one window and shoot a cartel member stone dead. Then he would run over to another window and do the same. It was soon apparent that Don Alejo had just killed 4 cartel members, and they had not even reached his home yet. The cartel retreats. At one point, the cartel decides to retreat. They had just lost 4 men.
They probably thought he had an army in there. It's him and his rifle.
And this job was clearly not as straightforward as it seemed. They had 3 options. Their first option was to retreat from the ranch entirely. They could call it a day and realize that this wasn't worth fighting for. But if you're a cartel member and had to tell the leader of your cartel that you and several other people were too chicken to fight a 77-year-old farmer, your membership at this cartel might be under review. And the cartel doesn't just let its members leave and move on to another job. The second option was to continue fighting. At some point, hopefully, this old man would run out of steam. They needed to continue fighting, and someone would eventually shoot him down. But again, this option ran its risks too. What if they lost? What if this geriatric farmer managed to gun down this group of skilled cartel members? The cartel has gotten where it is today by fear, and the story alone would spread throughout Mexico and let communities know that the cartel was not to be feared. Instead, they opted for a third option. In their trucks were much more advanced weapons than guns. This cartel realized that they could not fight fire with fire, but had to use superior weaponry against him. And as we mentioned earlier,
So what you gonna do? Explode the house? The house that you wanted to take from him? You gonna burn down the rancho that you came to get? You ain't gonna have no choice. It's gonna go with me. It's mine. All right? It's mine. It ain't gonna be yours. You'll be the what they say in Game of Thrones. You'll be the Queen of Ashes. You fuck around and try to take mine. You're gonna have to burn it with me in it.
the cartel has much more advanced weaponry than the police. The final showdown. The cartel came at Don Alejo's house with grenade launchers. With these weapons, they could attack him from a longer distance, where his hunting rifles were no match. And instead of trying to pinpoint exactly where he was, they simply carpet-bombed his entire house with grenades. They killed Don Alejo, but were too cowardly to face him with a shootout. The sheer size and scale of the violence meant that this battle was now making waves, far from Don Alejo's ranch. Mexican authorities believed that whatever was happening on this farm was too much of a job for the police, so the Mexican Marines arrived. And seeing that the Mexican military was now involved, the surviving cartel members decided to flee the scene. Unlike Don Alejo, they were not prepared to fight against a group with more manpower and better weapons.
What was the body count before they got him is my question.
Marines arrived. And seeing that the Mexican military was now involved, the surviving cartel members decided to flee the scene. Unlike Don Alejo, they were not prepared to fight against a group with more manpower and better weapons. They had finally left Don Alejo's home. The fate of Don Alejo. The Marines soon made their way towards the house. The violence had stopped, but they remained vigilant. Somebody could be hiding and ready to pounce at any minute. On the outside of the house, they found the remains of 4 dead cartel members. There were also 2 other cartel members unconscious. It was past 8 a.m., and Leticia did not receive a call from her husband as promised. And you can only imagine the deafening silence that she felt as the phone continued to fail to make a sound. She decided to break the silence and call him. However, this served only to make things even worse, as there was no answer. Her imagination began running wild. She assumed the worst. She panicked and called Joaquin Estrada for any information. She called Joaquin, and their conversation, roughly translated from the Spanish, went as follows. "Well, what's up, Joaquin? It is said that you noticed that there are many soldiers. And so? Well, there are many soldiers inside the ranch. Well, what about that? You go and see my husband to see how he is. Maybe the soldiers went to do some inspection. It's just that he doesn't know how many there are. There are too many, and they won't let me in. No, tell them that you are their ranch worker, that they..."
She is desperate for that man to go in that ranch and get her the information she wants. You know? Salute Goth Beauty on the check-in. Appreciate you for coming through. señor se los amarró. I heard about the Mexican Marines are mean. Quite possible. I mean, it's all a gang. They're a gang too. You know, they're another one. El señor se los amarró. Yeah, she was desperate for dude to go get on that ranch and check on her man.
They let you in.
Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Salute to you for being here. Appreciate you.
And then call me to tell me how my husband is. Alejandra did not receive a call back from Joaquin that day. Don Alejo had managed to hold off a pack of gunmen infiltrating his house, but grenade launches proved too much. The Mexican military found his body and was simply gobsmacked that the opposing side against the cartel was one man and several hunting rifles. He was a man who earned an honest living, and when the cartel came calling, he refused to back down. The only way that the cartel could defeat him was to take the coward's way out and fire grenade launchers at his home from a distance. Don Alejo's legacy. Los Zetas controlled a lot of the media, so the story did not make any newspapers the next day. Don Alejo had humiliated the cartel, and they did not want anyone to know about it. However, the newspaper Milenio decided to publish Don Alejo's heroics and let the people know about just how cowardly this criminal gang had reacted. And the cartel may have had control over the newspapers, but they could not control social media. Eventually, the news of Don Alejo spread, and he became a cultural icon. The fact that the cartel tried to quash this news only made the story spread even.
I want a Don Alejo t-shirt and a Miriam Rodriguez hoodie. You know what I mean? Put them on a shirt instead of these chomos and PDF files. 4 dead, 2 wounded. Went out like a G. Absolutely. Shout out Goth Beauty from Zoraida. Salutes to the ladies in the chat. All right, 4 dead, 2 wounded. They thought they were gonna go in there and find an army. They found an old man and his rifles. And his resolve. And his convictions. And his, the heart to stand on his square. Fuck out of here, man. Yeah, put him on a shirt. I'm gonna have a hoodie. This winter, I'm gonna have a hoodie with Don Alejo on it. That's what's gonna happen. All right. Shout out Manalia. Ese sí es hombre. I thought this was a totally different story, but yeah, okay. This makes sense.
Further, days before Don Alejo was killed, this criminal gang had reacted, and the cartel may have had control over the newspapers, but they could not control social media. Eventually, the news of Don Alejo spread, and he became a cultural icon. The fact that the cartel tried to quash this news only made the story spread even further. Days before Don Alejo was killed, he brought his wife a rose bush in a plastic bag. He told her that this way he would not have to go to a florist and buy her roses, but this bush will provide her with an endless supply of them. And after his death, this rose bush was planted at the ranch. This way, Don Alejo is still providing roses for his beloved wife long after his death. Mexican journalists like Denise Marquer and Kiro Gomez praised him as a hero. In Mexican culture,
Albert Flores says, did he even mention who the cartel was? It was Los Zetas. Yeah, he mentioned it. What's up with this rose bush?
Spread even further. Days before Don Alejo was killed, he brought his wife a rose bush in a plastic bag. He told her that this way he would not have to go to a florist and buy her roses, but this bush will provide her with an endless supply of them. And after his death, this rose bush was planted at the ranch. This way, Don Alejo is still providing roses for his beloved wife long after his death. Mexican journalists like Denise Marquer and Kiro Gomez praised him as a hero. In Mexican culture, there is a popular musical tradition known as the corrido, which is a folk ballad.
Yeah, write that old man a corrido. He earned that corrido. He deserves that corrido. You know what I mean? You don't gotta sugarcoat his corrido. You ain't gotta lie in his corrido. All you gotta do is tell the story of a man, the truth.
Commemorating heroic actions. The singer Miguel Gastelum, El Patron, has a corrido about Don Alejo, where the lyrics translate as, "You were a very good hunter, and a very accurate shot. In addition, a great gentleman, a worker, a good friend, upright, and a man of honor." His tale also provides a grim reminder of Mexican society. If one of my elderly relatives had a group of thugs threaten them on their own doorstep, I would hope that the police force would be capable of sorting the situation out. Clearly, in this case, he did not feel like that was the best option. His daughter told news outlets, "He told me he'd gotten threats, but he didn't notify the authorities. He never trusted them." And this is the sad reality that Don Alejo's family, friends, and workers have to live with. To add insult to injury, his death has not been properly investigated, and the cartels continue to be above the law. At the beginning of this video, I compared this battle to David and Goliath, and there's no doubt in my mind that Don Alejo...
I'm gonna do it. Miriam Rodriguez hoodie, Don Alejo hoodie. I'm gonna work on that. I'll put them on the shirt. Get these bums out of here, bro. So that said, she won with 2. Salutes. Pete never said I watched that guy Shadow for a while. You heard him? Yeah, OG Shadow. Supposedly he's locked up right now. Did he even mention who the cartel was? Yes, sir. Let's see. Danny Mendoza said, I really enjoy Fridays like this. Today marks 6 months of freedom after 13 years. I haven't paid my debt to society. Gracias, mis nuevos amigos. Salutes to you, sir. May you never see the inside of them walls again. Do what you got to do to stay, a free man. Salutes. Heck said, for sale. I'm going to work on that. Those people's story deserves to be on a shirt. Deserves to be a TV show. Deserves to have corridos. Deserves to have books written about it. Analyzing the psychology of it. The psychology of a man that's willing to stand on his square. Instead, they just want to give you all these prison stories and cases and beef stories and self-snitching on the thing. Nah, man. Tell me about the ones that fought back against the monster. That's the story I want to hear. Fuck are we talking about here? I get frustrated. Was this before or after autodefensas in Michoacán? I don't know. I don't even know what autodefensas are. Again, congrats, Danny Mendoza. Salutes to you, sir.
Is a hero, and his courage was of biblical proportions. But if you look at the bigger picture, continue to be above to add insult.
Proportion, cojones. Big nuts. Stood on his square. Come get some. Y'all take my shit? Cool. Some of y'all coming with me. I'm going to bag y'all up, tag y'all up. Y'all come with me.
To injury, his death has not been properly investigated, and the cartels continue to be above the law. At the beginning of this video, I compared this battle to David and Goliath, and there's no doubt in my mind that Don Alejo is a hero, and his courage was of biblical proportions, but if you look at the bigger picture, he is simply a hero in a society full of villains. In the play Galileo Galilei by Bertolt Brecht, one of Galileo's pupils says, "Unhappy is the land that breeds no hero," to which Galileo responds, "No, Andrea, unhappy is the land that needs a hero." In a properly
Damn, boy. Did you hear that?
Bertolt Brecht, one of Galileo's pupils, says, "Unhappy is the land that breeds no hero," to which Galileo responds, "No, Andrea, unhappy is the land that needs a hero." In a properly functioning society, you should not be forced to fight off a cartel to protect your home. This was the sad state of affairs where Mexico needed a hero.
Boy. Hey, man, Don Alejo, much respect. Salutes to you, sir. All these tough guys that get in the comments and everybody want to puff their chest out and I kick your ass and you can't bust a grape and all of y'all pussy. That old man stood on his square, right? That old man stood on his square. He didn't have a dog in the fight except himself. I want to hear those kind of stories. Unhappy is the land that breeds no heroes. Unhappy is the land that needs a hero. That old man was a hero for himself and his family. He lost out in the end, right? But he ain't go alone. The outcome was going to be the same, except there wasn't going to be 6 shot up cartel members at the end of that story. They was just going to get him. It's probably why he didn't get the police involved. They say he didn't trust the police. They probably could have got him in the shower if he didn't involve the police. Shit. Preach that shit, shot facts. Salutes to you, heck. There's a vid on how I appreciate you, Albert. Albert be helping pushing this content forward. I appreciate it, sir. Shy, that's another topic that would be good for this channel, bro. You should have said that what that is. You guys gotta understand. You guys gotta think for me sometimes because I'm reading the chat moments and minutes after you guys put it. And I've already said what I said and it passed, and now I'm reading your chat. Manalia, what's another good topic for this channel? Congrats, Danny. Salutes. Y'all check out Geraldo Villarreal's testimony. No, sir. I don't know what that is, Vincent Lopez, but appreciate you checking in. Facts. Long live Don Alejo. Absolutely. Wow, good story. Blessed to him and his family. And kept the ranch. Yeah, he's going to die with me, bro. It's mine. Much respect to that old man. Hard worker stood up for his land. F drug cartels. You know, they try to swing the big stick at him, and he just said, Geraldo Villarreal was co-founder of Los Zetas, but was saved from that life of destruction by the grace of God. Now, let me ask you, Did he have to go to prison to be saved, or how did he get saved? And where is he now? He's in prison, right? Did he get saved before he went to prison? I'm not being condescending. I'm just asking. Salutes Vincent. All right. But yeah, I'd like to hear his testimony. Another day, another dollar. Wow. Don Alejo was a G, boy. Sheesh. He wasn't going alone. He wasn't playing no games. Let's get in this Discord, see what we got here. Put that old man. That's the old man I want on the shirt, man. I'm trying to hear no bullshit. Zorada over here handling business in the Discord right now. Salute Zorada. Salute to Ari. I appreciate y'all both. Boom. We're in the content suggestions. What do we got here? Somos. About a whole town that gets tortured and unalive. Right? But that ain't it. Visit El Rancho de Don Alejo. Oh, buddy's inside, huh? Somos is so good, though, you guys. Oh, so that's not it. It's different from Somos. Hold on, let me know if that's the information. I think it's this one. It's not Somos. 100% not Somos. Somos about a whole town that gets unalive. Okay, I'm going to get into that one, too. But this one here, where's this one at? This movie's supposed to... Oh, you said this is the short film? This is the 24-minute movie? Hold on. Stop. Listen.
Ya para el mediodía tenemos el pedido.
Hold on, man. If this movie... man, we might have to do this shit, man. Hundreds up in the chat if y'all want to watch this movie. All right? It's 24 minutes. Hundreds up in the chat. Salutes to everybody that left. Peace out. It's movie time, motherfuckers. Man, Liz said the auto defensas in Michoacan is a good topic. Okay. A mix of citizens and small cartels working undercover as civilians fought back against the Caballeros Templarios cartel. So many different convoluting ass things. So many stories. All right. Can't respect men who try and take from people who work hard for theirs. Salutes. I agree. There's other ways to get it. But shout out Manalia. We got to talk about that and look into it. All right, man. We got hundreds up. We're going to get through this movie. First, let's watch this video. Shout out to Albert Flores. Albert done opened up the can of fucking worms on a Friday night. I was going to cut this off at about 3 hours and, couple of minutes, but we're going to keep it moving right now. I got my drink refreshed. Let's get it. First, let's look at the rancho right here. Let's look at this rancho.
Get a quote at lemonade.com.
Hoy, como informamos, Milenio Televisión pudo entrar al rancho San José, esta propiedad del empresario Alejo Garza Tamés, que él defendió con su vida el pasado 13 de noviembre. Este rancho está a unos 15 kilómetros de Ciudad Victoria. Hoy lograron entrar nuestros compañeros Joaquín Fuentes, reportero, y Miguel Ángel Fuentes, camarógrafo, y las huellas de la resistencia, de ese gesto de Don Alejo están...
Don Alejo on the shirt, stop it. It's going down. Stitch tat, all of that shit. Why? Because that should be the symbol. That should be the symbol. You know, who's the kid gonna look up to in the movie? The 20 goons that go to do an old man dirty, huh? Or the one goon old man that laid 6 of them down? Shit, stop it. Salutes Tales of the Central Coast. I appreciate you.
Ahí se ve lo que ocurrió.
Let's get it. All right, this is the look of the ranch from the helicopter, helicopter. The watermark is huge. Looks like a nice piece of land. I don't know if this is his parking structure. This is the home. This is the gate. I don't know.
Desde las alturas, el rancho San José es diminuto y solitario.
Go. Got his little garage. Some kind of structure here. Structure in the middle. And then looks like a main structure here.
Perdido en las llanuras de Ciudad Victoria.
One deep, heck. One deep. Super gangster.
La casona es una propiedad sencilla. Rodea...
There you go, nice little humble home that he worked his ass off for.
Perdido en las llanuras de
Got
Ciudad
some water
Victoria,
behind
la
him.
casona es una propiedad sencilla, rodeada por agua en una
Raised his
llanura
daughters,
interminable.
loved his wife, paid his staff, broke his back, did the things that men do. For somebody to come and say, I'm tougher than you can't bust a grape, I'll take that.
Pero en tierra, el escenario se transforma. Todo en ello recuerda la...
Shit, look at this. They blew the frame out of this whole wall right here. He was doing the Billy the Kid. Y'all gotta watch that movie, O. Henry.
madrugada del...
He was doing the Billy the Kid.
Pero en tierra, el escenario se transforma. Todo en ello recuerda la madrugada del 13 de noviembre, cuando un comando armado intentó despojar a Don Alejo Garza Tamés de su propiedad.
Look, he should have sent them that pic. That's the picture that should be on the hoodie, and it say, "This should have been you." You know what I'm saying? They need to name the best tequila after that old man. Facts. Put that old man on a T-shirt. Sell that, Adam 22. You won't do that. You'll sell Chapo, Escobar. Come on, man. That. Don't make holes.
Don Alejo resistió de pie un enfrentamiento que pasó de las ráfagas a las granadas. Y su huella, la de una lucha entre un hombre de 77 años contra al menos docena y media de gatilleros, es desproporcionada. La fachada no deja de ser menos impresionante que el resto es de un enfrentamiento que pasó de las ráfagas a las granadas. Y su huella, la de una lucha entre un hombre de 77 años contra al menos docena y media de gatilleros, es desproporcionada. La fachada no deja de ser menos impresionante que el resto de la estructura del rancho de Don Alejo. Aquí estalló una granada, que fue lo que botó esta puerta, y como se puede observar, decenas de impactos de bala de diferente calibre. Contrario, hacia el lado contrario, están los impactos de las balas que disparó Don Alejo a sus agresores y que algunas impactaron en los árboles que hacen de cerca a esta la entrada principal de su rancho.
The cat got stories to tell. The cat's like, yo, the old man, they came at the old man. Old man had his straps laid out all over the house, and he crawled from one spot to the other, and he pinpointed and dotted these fools. Bagata, bagata, bagata. Cat got story to tell. Turkey got story to tell. You should have seen the old man that night.
Esto es hoy el Rancho San José. En sus pasillos y sus habitaciones recuerdan los ataques a viviendas de un país en guerra.
Humble ass home. I'm not allowed to have it. Shit. You're gonna have to tell me.
Cuando uno entra a la casa de Don Alejo Garza, lo primero que percibe es el aroma a pólvora. Pólvora que está impregnada en todas las paredes, en todos los muebles, en el techo incluso, desde donde se ven los disparos. En este lugar, de acuerdo con los reportes que hizo la Marina el 13 de noviembre, Don Alejo se parapetó para repeler el ataque de los sicarios. Esta es la habitación que era el comedor y la cocina del 13 de noviembre. Don Alejo se parapetó para repeler el ataque de los sicarios. Esta es la habitación que era el comedor y la cocina. Esta puerta que vemos en este momento fue detonada, explotada por una granada, y fue por donde entraron los sicarios, de acuerdo a esta reconstrucción que se hizo. Las paredes, se puede ver cómo están perforadas por completo por los impactos de bala, salpicadas de pólvora también en este cuarto que servía como una recámara. Todavía se pueden ver aquí las fundas de las escopetas de Don Alejo. Hay cartuchos percutidos y otros que no se utilizaron, que siguen aquí en sus cajas. Y esta que es la recámara donde Don Alejo, bueno, pues también mantuvo la defensa.
I'm telling you, man, Sylvester Stallone took the Don Alejo story for that Rambo, bro. That Rambo with the tunnels and shit. He wildin'.
De
Same way he did the Rocky story from Muhammad Ali and the Bayonne Bleeder.
su casa y su rancho. Detrás de esta puerta
Bro,
queda...
that man ain't living in no mansion. He's living in his humble abode, bro, and they wanted to take that from him at 77 years old. What? So many people, oh, El Mayo turned himself in because the honor of wanting to see his children at the age of 70, whatever, 78 years old, he wants to see his children. He's sick, and they put all of that morality on him. This old man was 77 years old, and he did not want to bow down and live on his knees. So he did the gangster shit. That was the gangster shit right there.
Da acceso al baño, quedó el cuerpo de Don Alejo Garza.
But the cartel guys will call it stupid. Nah, he was a stupid old man that got himself murked. So be it. Call it whatever the fuck you want.
Esa mañana de sábado 13 de noviembre.
That's where he laid dead.
Put him in a fucking bedroom.
My bad. Put nobody in the bathroom. Sorry. So that's where they found him, huh?
13 de noviembre. Hay algo espeso en el viento que sopla fuerte en esta parte de Ciudad Victoria, que a unos 15 kilómetros de esta propiedad parece más lejana. Y en los corrales, en las naves para herramientas y maquinaria de este rancho, el luto parece mayor. Por ese camino fue por el que llegó el comando armado al rancho San José. Esta es la entrada que utilizaron, donde se ve claramente que no hay impactos de bala, y si no es sino hasta traspasando la propiedad, a donde se empiezan a contar ya decenas de casquillos que hay tirados por todo el suelo de esta propiedad, y así es como se ve la fachada principal de la casa. Así quedó la casa de Don Alejo Garza esa mañana del 13 de noviembre. En el piso, en el suelo, entre la tierra, se ven casquillos, y de acuerdo a los reportes de los peritos, uno de los sicarios probablemente estuvo aquí de pie disparando hacia la fachada. En el suelo están los cartuchos que soltó su arma, y que muy probablemente también quedó aquí tendido el cuerpo de uno de ellos. De acuerdo al rango de tiro que tenía Don Alejo, este era un blanco fácil, lo que dicen las autoridades. En el otro extremo, las casas de los trabajadores reflejan la huida del rancho.
Come on, man. That was a humble man, bro. A humble man. He didn't want to take nothing from nobody. He just didn't want nobody to take nothing from him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Con la prisa y la apuración de dejar...
He made sure he got everybody out of there. Think about it. His staff would have suffered. His family would have suffered. He took his last stand.
Este lugar, pues así quedaron las habitaciones de los trabajadores de Don Alejo. En el molcajete todavía se ve salsa, tortillas en la mesa, sin siquiera desenvolver la fruta. En fin, todo con la prisa de salir de este lugar por órdenes de Don Alejo.
So that was his staff's living quarters, and they just, on his orders, up and bounced, left everything from the tortillas to the sauce. Salsa.
4 delincuentes muertos y 2 heridos. Fue el saldo de los agresores. Del otro lado, cayó un experto
4 unalive, 2 injured.
Cazador de venados, que se
I want to interview those two. The two that if they're alive, the two that survived. Hey man, tell me about the day that old man handed you your ass and your boys. He handed y'all your ass.
Defendió y defendió su rancho hasta el último aliento.
Boom, that's him right there. Salutes to you, sir. Put it on the hoodie, bro. His mustache and all, hairline and everything. All right? Don Alejo was a G.
Con imágenes de Miguel Ángel Fuentes desde el rancho San José en las cercanías de Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas, para Milenio Noticias, Joaquín Fuentes.
All right, Joaquin, appreciate you. All right, man. Y'all put your hundreds up, so we're going to do it. But let me take a look and see if they got any type of subs or something. Let's see. English. I'm just trying to see if we get some subs out of it, so I don't have to. I don't want to translate. Let's see. English.
¿Ya está listo el pozole?
Yeah, all right. So I'm not going to translate, y'all. We're just going to watch this. Maybe I stop and comment, but I'm not going to translate. The subtitles will play, so you'll be able to read the subtitles if you're watching the show. For those that are listening, my apologies. When I do stop it, I'll try to give you a breakdown. For all my truck drivers out there, I'll try to give you a breakdown of what's happening. But in the meantime, you might hear some Espanol and some paca, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Salutes. I appreciate you. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. Here we go. I'm just going to watch. Hit that like button. Friday Night with Shy. Salutes. Hope we don't get clapped. That shit said applause. Definitely no applause. So I don't know how good this translation is. Salutes, Don Alejo.
Una enorme movilización policíaca, segundos posteriores a la refriega, y cuando los cuerpos aún permanecían dentro de la patrulla policíaca cosida a balazos y sobre la avenida 20 de la colonia Colosio, y el rostro de los policías municipales.
Buenas, don Alejo.
¿Qué tal?
Ya para el mediodía tenemos el pedido.
Qué bueno, porque Lupe hizo pozole y quiere que vengan a la casa para comerlo.
Listo, patrón. Ahí estamos.
¿Traes tu acordón?
Ahí está, írelo. Me lo llevo, faltaba más.
Está bien. Ahí les dejo una agüita para que se refresquen.
¿Qué pasó, muchachos? ¿Cómo están?
¿Y tu marido, Lupe?
Voy por él. Véngase, que ya está listo el pozole.
Ando bien armado, se va por terracería, los carros vienen polvados, a veces lo veo sereno, a veces acelerado.
Hey, what you doing? Everybody's chilling. Come on, man. They living the good life. The old man is bringing water to his workers. The workers are happy. Wifey's going to make the pozole. They're going to go play the accordion. They're going to have a good time. They're going to hang out. Heck said the twins. There's the twins in the car? Heck, you wildin'. You know, they're having a good day, and then you got Tony Tough Guys, the two guys in the car, they beelining it towards the ranch. Bothering this man simply doing his thing, keeping his workers happy.
Bien, muy bien, van mejorando.
Gracias, Don Alejo. Algún día voy a hacerle un corrido a usted y se lo va a dar a los Tigres del Norte. Va a ver cómo va a andar oyéndolo por todos lados.
Corre, échate otra. Dale, arráncate, vámonos.
Aguante, yo voy.
Buenas.
My shit is yours, and that's it. You pull out your gun, and I gotta give it up now, huh? All right.
Ya lo oyó, viejo. A la verga de aquí.
You bogus. Shoot up the man's sign. 77 years of life dedicated to that sign.
¿Y ahora?
Now what?
Pues nada.
Ya valió verga. Nos van a matar a todos.
Aquí no van a matar a nadie.
Entonces, ¿nos vamos a matar nosotros? Pues usted entenderá, patrón. Se nos está haciendo tarde.
Some want to rush away and go duck under a rock, and some, I'm sure, want to stay. But, old man reassuring them, ain't nobody going to die here today. Boy, that horse will kick you right in your shit.
Elementos de la Armada de México sostuvieron un enfrentamiento a balazos con una célula de presuntos sicarios. El tiroteo ocurrió la mañana de este jueves en el kilómetro 15 de la carretera federal México 15, entre los poblados de Los Limones y Potrero de Carrasco, pertenecientes a la sindicatura de El Aval. El saldo de la balacera fue de un supuesto pistolero muerto y daños en la carrocería de un Jeep Grand Cherokee blanco con reporte de robo y 2 unidades de Armada de México. La información que se obtuvo en el lugar de los hechos establece que 2 civiles más lograron escapar por entre el monte, al parecer uno de ellos herido de bala. La movilización militar propició el cierre de ambos carriles de la carretera durante 4 horas, lo cual generó una fila de varios kilómetros en ambos sentidos de circulación. El joven que cayó muerto se encontraba en calidad de
Talking about hunting trips he had with the homie right there. He reminiscing. He's like, I can't let nothing happen to these people. Workers look more gangster than the cartel guys. And they was ready for it. Some of them said, well, we're going to get to Illin? What's popping? Salute Fernando Ortiz for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. 100's up for you. Let me see. It doesn't let me. Oh, shit. What did I just do? Shout out Fernando for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, sir.
Botas amarillas y camisa verde olivo. Entre sus pertenencias cargaba un envoltorio con cristal y $400. Pese a que en la mayoría de los homicidios que ocurren en el municipio interviene el Ministerio Público de Fuero Común, en este caso no fueron requeridos. Personal de la subdelegación de
Eran buenos tiempos, ¿no?
República arribó al lugar y se hizo
Todavía
cargo
se
de las
apuntaron.
investigaciones. Fuentes federales precisaron
Todavía
que a eso
podemos
de las
darles
9 de
su
la
madre.
mañana, en la cuarta zona naval, se recibió una llamada anónima que pedía auxilio, ya que un vehículo de color blanco con hombres armados rodeaba el poblado Potrero de Carrasco. Un comando de marinos fuertemente artillados se movilizó por carretera y al circular por el kilómetro 15 se encontraron con un vehículo sospechoso.
Cuídense mucho, Heredia.
Sí, patrón.
Nos vemos mañana.
Hasta mañana, patrón.
Vámonos pues.
Body riding out. Put my beloved sign in storage.
Váyase, Martín. Ahí lo alcanzo.
Martin's like, bro, me and you could stay here and romperle la madre a these motherfuckers. But, old man gonna send them away. I'll catch you there. Yeah, right.
Váyase.
I want to see
Yo
how
aquí
they
lo
handle
espero,
the
patrón.
action scene.
No. Me quiero despedir a solas. Vaya y haga lo que tenga que hacer. Yo aquí lo espero, patrón.
Said I wait for you here. He said, no,
Haga
I
lo
want
que
to
le
say my
digo.
goodbyes
Váyase.
alone.
¿Pero en qué se va a ir?
Ahí está la bicicleta.
Lo va a agarrar la noche. ¿Para qué se queda?
He knows the old man planning on staying. All right. Let's give attention to the juice before we put him in the bathroom, if we put him in the bathroom today. Because the last time you were here, I came to the conclusion, I believe that you were a troll of many names that have trolled us with many names. And you came in here the other day and you came with this new name, The Juice, and you talked nicely to everybody. And then at the end, you exposed yourself. You thought I would forget. But the stream was over. There was nothing I could do to you then. So when you walked in last time, I hit you with the button. Right? So now if I let you live right now and I let you talk today and by the end you come with some silly, disrespectful bullshit, then I know the next time I see your name, we put you in the bathroom for good. In the box. You're gone. All right? So that's why. I didn't owe you an answer to that question, but I just gave you one. Now we're watching a movie. Don't interrupt us anymore. Oh,
¡No
man
se
said,
arriesgue!
fuck what you talking about. I'm gonna go sit down.
¿Qué tal si llegan?
What if they come? What if they show up? I'm gonna bust their ass.
¡Lo van a agarrar solo!
Dang, he don't want to leave him, but you left him. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Salutes. Here comes Oso Jr., nut hugging. What up, nut hugger? I'm not blocking people, I'm timing them out. And if I feel like blocking them, I got every right. Maybe I think you're not smart enough to add to the conversation and I think that you're worthless here, so I block you. It just is what it is. I got the right to do that. If you want to do it, go start your own channel. Shut your ass up about it. Old man enjoying the water on his land. Because he knows he's going to stand on his square. You ain't blocked yet, also. Count your lucky stars. Nut hugger. Put that sign up. This is home, boy. You're not pushing me out of here. What you talking about? Damn, the young cuckoo clock. So, now, mind you, in this movie, it was one time that the cartel came and threatened him. In real life, they came, they asked him, he said, nah, I ain't taking that. They came back. Nah, I ain't taking that. And they said, all right, we're going to come back and take everything. He said, nah, I'm going to take 4 of y'all with me. I'm going to leave 2 of y'all maimed. And that's what he did. Shout out Pete Never. Best part of Shy, how he talks to trolls. We deserve a better level of troll here. These trolls are weak, the ones we get. Very weak. They only got a couple. They got like 5 words that they put together to make like 3 sentences that they repeat over and over again. Got laid down. They thought they was good. First one got done, so. Shout out Big Blanc from the O. Salute to you, sir. I appreciate you. Boom. First one got. Step your ass out the car. Now you a victim to Don Alejo, old man.
Las luces, güey, las luces. Vas, al tiro. No creo que te vean.
Simón, güey.
Yo te cubro.
Ya le dieron en su madre a ese cabrón.
Luego lo levantamos.
Where did the first dude that got hit get out of there with?
Necesitamos refuerzos. Necesitamos refuerzos ahora, ya.
Why, for old man? Hell yeah. Wrong one.
Ya los tenemos. Apúrense.
We already have him. You ain't got shit. He busting that chop. He tiptoeing and shit.
Pégale de frente. Dale, dale, dale. De frente, de frente.
Pedro, ya llegamos.
Ya los vi.
Dile al 4 que le reviente su madre a la puerta.
Backup is here.
Cambio.
Whoa, backup look like they on all kind of different narcotics.
Yo, cabrón.
Did dude just fall on the mat? Independent film like a motherfucker, boy. Y'all see that? Hold on. We going back real quick. Hold on. All right, so we got dirt right here. He gonna get hit. He gets hit. He got dirt right here, and there's a mattress right here. He gonna land on the mattress. All right, they didn't key that out. They didn't get rid of that in the edit. That's pretty great. Check it out. Watch the mattress. The art of filmmaking. That shit's hilarious. You couldn't take the fall on the dirt? What kind of actor are you? Y'all didn't have no insurance. That's what happened. Y'all had no insurance. On the mattress. Go night-night. On the mattress.
Vas a librar de aquí. Dale la vuelta por atrás. Atrás tiene que haber una puerta.
Sí, te copio.
Backdoor. Backdoor him now. Oh, the old man got hit. Hold on, I missed it. Did they mute him, or are they inferring that he couldn't yell? He didn't yell, so they wouldn't hear him. Told you that looked like the dude from the parking lot in the Fulio Unalive, that was with the Tesla footage. Remember? That was digital wood right there that fell off that door. They could have done something to that mattress, or either they didn't do shit. Buried it. It ain't but 2 inches thick. Caught him with the barbed wire booby trap. Yo. You can see the rope. So this movie wasn't finished, or this is what they were comfortable enough or had the budget to do. But you can see the carabiner and the rope and the I love it. It's great though. You never know. I might make a movie all fucking fucked up. It'll be a classic, though. It's already a classic, just off the subject matter. Salutes.
5, respóndeme, 5. Vas, cabrón.
Pero sin miedo, cabrón.
Got a point there, Hotel North. Got a point there. Front of this place is more beat up than his place. Oh, put that pistol. Nice. Gave him the young whistle. Pay attention. Take this. Don Alejo doing his thing. Now, they didn't go grenade heavy in this the way the real story goes. You know what I'm saying? They went pistols, some rifles, but they didn't go grenade heavy. But if you write this for Hollywood, it's grenade status. Gotta begin.
Ya cayó otro. ¿Traes tu radio?
Simón,
Dale por atrás.
usted tranquilo. Ahora me lo chingo.
Órale.
Old man's hurt, but he gonna take a few more with him. I haven't been counting, but we know there's 4 and 2. Definitely getting the chrome. So that's a lose. Special effects budget is crazy. Oh, not the bear trap. Bear trapped him. This is one of the first ones that showed up there too. Bear trapped him. You dumb, Popeyes. Damn. Come on, change the scene. They come get me.
¡Luis!
Is it on the floor? Is it on the... Stick to the wall? What's happening here? Oh, the mattress. He go jump on the mattress. On this Sealy Posturepedic, sleep all the way through the night. Your back will feel much better in the morning. You'll feel rested up. Is this a Portopedic? Grenade still got the clip on it. I guess it was digitally supposed to blow up. Oh, that shit's funny. Masacre in San Jose. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Independent films take a lot of love and a lot of money to make. They did what they could with what they had.
Los hombres de honor existen.
Men of honor exist. And for example, Alejo Garza. No, that wasn't his name. A man who alone and almost at the age of 80 was unalive defending. And then there are almost no men like him. Salutes to him. All right, I'm with the whole independent movie. They did a decent job. All right, we watched it. Y'all put y'all hundreds up. Salutes. I appreciate y'all. That shit was great. All right, I appreciate Albert Flores for helping pushing the content forward. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, crazy story. That man right there deserves to be on a t-shirt, deserves to be on a hoodie, something. You know what I mean? I don't want to play the song because I don't want to get popped off. But I'm with it. That was dope. Shout out Miriam Rodriguez. Shout out Don Alejo. I got to put up like a Hall of Fame of heroes, man. Of real deal, tougher than leather, no nonsense heroes. Salutes. Right? As far as the trolls go, I can't put weight into people who would never show their face or say certain things to somebody else's face. You would never do it. So, you know, you people, you beneath the scum on the bottom of someone's shoe. Like, you should have gone down the drain somewhere, you know? But I think you trolls need to step your game up if you want attention from me. If you want attention from me, you're going to have to pay for it. Right? Salutes to the chat and the usual suspects. These guys get bored with themselves and they move on, and when they don't move on, then
put them in a fucking bench, Mike.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now that the show's over, now it's time. Somebody give the Juice 24 hours. I just don't like him. I think he's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's weak. He got the same shit every night. It's rapper talk or swinging off the twins' nuts. Talking about who's viewing. You viewing. You're going to be viewing. When I block your bum ass forever, you're still going to be viewing. There's bums that got blocked yesterday that are still going to view. The real ones are going to talk. The real ones are going to accept each other's differences and disagreements. But the hoes like you that come repeat themselves every day, you're a very low-level troll. You're nothing of a troll. You know what I mean? You really should have ended up at the bottom of a drain. Prison drain. At that. Young Jizzle said, I'm here. Salutes to Young Jizzle on the check-in. You're going to have to catch the playback, Papa. Manalia said, that's our profit. Salutes Pete Never. Late but made it. Thank you, Zoraida, for the reminder. Salutes Young Jizzle. We appreciate you, sir. All right. Zoraida hit him in the head for 24 hours. She went ahead and
put him in a fucking bench, Mike.
And that's my right. And here's what annoys me about these low-level trolls, right? And I've seen the homie Zaya deal with this for years. Low-level trolls, they'll troll you, right? Well, I troll you back. My way of trolling you is like Blanc said. Was it Blanc? Let me see. Yeah. I handle them type of people with the block button. That's me trolling you. Then you got the nerve to come on here and ask me, why'd you block me last time? Because I was trolling you back. Now you crying like a bitch? And then he say something slick like, but how you know we're weak trolls if you don't give us a chance? You know what I'm saying? JJ, you prove it. JJ, you another hoe that ain't never said nothing in here, but since I said something that remotely sounded tough and it triggered the pussy in you, You want to say something. JJ, you've been quietly listening too. You a stan, bruh. But you could prove it whenever you want to prove it, dog. I talk hard on camera, but my face is here. Where's yours? We don't see yours, JJ. Huh? You anonymous, JJ, and you wouldn't say it to my face either. You pussy. So, you know. So I don't have to acknowledge y'all. I could just block y'all. Y'all ain't on that level. Y'all don't even have channels. Make a channel. Talk your shit back. Except y'all, all y'all hoes want to do is co-sign each other. You hoes. You nothing. Bottom of the fucking barrel. JJ, you should test that theory. JJ says, I bet you won't dare to call another man a bitch or person. JJ, test the theory. Find me. Test the theory. Tell me I'm JJ, and I'm going to say, JJ, you a whole bitch. Because that's what you acting like in here. You talking tough, right? You talking hard, huh? Where you at? You talking tough. We can't talk tough back. You the tough police? We had one of those last night. Y'all are weak, man. Whenever you hear a man speak with assertiveness and confidence, your pussies swell up and you worried and you salty. He shouldn't be talking hard like that. I don't think he's like that. I think you 150% pure pussy. That's what I think of people like you. People that don't show up to the chat until they want to talk that bullshit. Right? I think you's a hoe. It's just what it is. Wow, you showing your face. You a hoe, JJ. Little JJ. Hoe ass. So, yeah, that's it. It is what it is. You a punk in real life. That's why you like to talk hard on camera. Bro, you think I survived this long like that? JJ? How old are you, JJ? You 12, JJ? Huh? What we do know is that the only people who never have anything other to say in the chat than to come check me because I said something a little too harsh for their pussy sensibilities, y'all are punks. You got no place to talk to a motherfucker like me. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So fuck what you talking about. Again, you've gotten enough attention. Salute. Sleep so good you ain't wake up again ever. Yeah, buddy on that mattress. He's still on that mattress, bro. Shout out Pete Never. He said this is worth $5. Salutes. I appreciate you. These dudes is funny. Shy, you mad? See, now he triggered. I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm calling you a hoe? Wow. You guys don't make sense. You troll and don't like to be trolled. Y'all are pussies. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I can't change y'all mind about your hoishness. Your hoishness is what you are. You only come here for that. Who are you though? I'm Shy. I'm the dude you're watching. This my world, ho. I'm Shy Ill. You watching me. You're going to continue to watch me even after we put you in the fucking match. You're going to continue watching me because you a stand, right? But you just decided to stand up for another stand that's in the bathroom now. Now you want to go join him so that you can lotion him up. You a punk. But you got your attention. 1, 2, 3 said it. JJ insecure. JJ heard me say something assertive. Oh my God, he can't be talking like that. He's not a gangster. I'm the tough guy. Eat a dick, JJ. You a punk. Shout out Heck Perez. They be like, Shy, you mad. You're triggered. What? You control. I can't fucking say nothing back to you. Y'all are hoes. You're mad. JJ has to punch keys to make a point. JJ don't even got no picture. JJ's anonymous, a nobody, a nothing. You shouldn't respond to them unless they have a real picture. They don't exist. Those don't exist, Big Blanc. They all pussy like JJ. Look, he laughing at my trash music. I bet you he been bumping my shit all week. There was a dude yesterday that got put out of here, right? That dude used to say all kind of shit. How dope I was. And the moment we disagreed, I was a disrespectful bitch and a pussy. You the same kind of hoe. You've been bumping my shit all day, all week. Face turning red. Okay. JJ, I'm an actor, dog. These are things that I could control, dog. But I'm not acting here. I'm here telling you, use a hoe. You know? Use a hoe. Shout out Young Jizzle. Shout out Young Jizzle for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Vincent Lopez, this world is yours, Shy. Yeah, I don't claim all the rest of them, but this one's mine. And if I want to get rid of you, JJ, you fall off the face of the fucking planet. You anonymous. Nobody know who you are. You don't have no stake and no claim. You ain't put nothing on the line. You ain't got no story. There's no receipts we could check on you. You just empty talk, man. Twitter fingers, kids, but I pay too much attention to y'all. But I will say this to, who was it? Was it Big Blunt? You shouldn't respond unless they have a real picture. None of them do. They don't test that. They won't test that, you know? So, salutes. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. Shout out Zoraida for the $5 super chat. She said, great live, Shy, as always. This is always worth it. Even in my lack of sleep, hit the like button and subscribe. Salutes. I appreciate you. See, guys, does JJ know about me? No. JJ he just a nut swinger that's over here talking about what he doesn't know. Y'all take a look at this. I think I'm an actor now because I have a YouTube channel. No, dickhead. I have credentials. I have receipts. Google me, ho. But you know, it's going to hurt you when you do. It's just a lot of hoishness in you, JJ. We can't save you, dog. You just a little punk on the other end of a computer. Right? Again, salute Zoraida. I appreciate you. Did I hit the heart on that? Bro, I hit the heart on that. Hit the heart on this. Salute Young Jizzle. I appreciate you, sir. Zoraida, gracias. My pops came through. All right. Let me get the shout outs popping. Before we get out of here, it was a good live. I enjoyed it. We got a lot of info out. Shout out Ocran Leaks. Shout out Don Alejo. We're putting Don Alejo and Miriam Rodriguez on the shirt. It got to happen. Gotta happen, right? Shout out Sam Romero out there on the road, parked for the night. Salutes to you, sir. Have a great night. Safe travels tomorrow. Shout out Pure Art, Zoraida, Jonathan, Danny Mendoza. I appreciate you. Heck Perez, appreciate you, sir. 298 Sosa, always a pleasure. 030 North, appreciate you, sir. Ari, I appreciate you coming through over here. Salutes to you. Sheldon, I appreciate you, sir. Albert Flores, it was a pleasure. I appreciate all your input. I appreciate you dropping links in the Discord. If anybody's out there that has yet to hit the like button, please do. Manalia, salutes to you. If the trolls are still down at the bottom, hand them their own attention. I ain't going to give them no attention. I'm straight on that. Until I get down there. Right now I'm busy. Let's see who else is here. But again, shout out Albert Flores. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds checked in. I appreciate you. Laughing at the picture that they put for or the actors that they use for JMP. That shit's hilarious. Shout out Pete Never. I appreciate your donation, sir. I appreciate your input. Salutes to all the donators tonight. Salutes to all the likers, the members. I appreciate y'all. So the Ghost Watchers, y'all at the end. Again, salutes Pete Never. Who else is in here? Goth Beauty checked in. Salutes to Goth Beauty. I appreciate you. Shout out Vincent Lopez. Appreciate your input. I want to look into that Geraldo Villarreal shit. 030 North. Appreciate you, sir. Felix Reyes, salutes to you. Tales of the Central Coast, salutes to you. And everybody else that the chat goes away after a certain amount of time. Everybody else that was in here tonight. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Salutes Fernando. I appreciate you and your contributions to pushing the content forward. I appreciate you, sir. Shout out also. Let's see. What a dork. Jay, where you been? You definitely knew. He don't know shit from shit. I can tell Shy is a successful actor and rapper, and that's why he has all these viewers. I've never failed at anything I've ever done. Believe that. I say that shit with confidence. Huh? I'd say it in your face before I called you a bitch. I'd say that. I've never failed at anything I've ever done. Good night, everyone. Tatu Enrollo. Salutes to you. JJ Shy, what happened to your acting career? What a fucking dork. Google me, bitch. IMDb me. Right? And it ain't over. Someone always got to hate on another person giving their opinions. Yeah, as a matter of fact, somebody could hit JJ in the head with 24 hours because we're done anyway, and I don't like him. I think he's a hoe. He's one of those dudes that talk that tough shit, and then they get into insults because they got nothing else because, you know, they're not that smart. They're kind of dumb. You know? Still a rapper, too. Still a MC. Always will be, JJ. And you'll always be a commenter. You only exist in the comments. May a wrench hit you in your fucking head for 24 hours. Salutes. Someone always gonna hate on another person giving their opinions. Why can't they just change channels? There's a million channels on YouTube that they could go watch another washed up actor, washed up MC, washed up. I got a story in every life that I've lived, Papa. Deep story. And it's not over. So you guys think that that's an insult? You guys are cucks. But earlier you was talking all that in-person shit, and then you went to the insults. Why? Because you bitches backtrack. And that's why you're not worthy of our time, and that's why we deserve better trolls on this channel. All right? So Juice, JJ, all of you cucks. Oso came in, and he said some slick shit, then he got quiet. The rest, you know, all I have to do is get rid of y'all.
Put him in a fucking bench, man.
You know? So with that said, salute Zoraida, salute Manalia, salute Young Jizzle. I appreciate you all. Y'all have a good night. We're going to go out the same way we came in. We're also going to have a moment of silence right before the music for Don Alejo. And I'm going to look into getting these shirts popping. Salutes. Heck said facts, and he's here watching the best show on YouTube. And he's going to be here. Even when he can't talk, he's going to be here. He'll be talking somewhere else, but he'll be here. That's what they do. Chain reaction. Yeah, these guys nut hug each other. You guys noticing the pattern? One talks, I check him. Another one, his panties get in a bunch because I said something that was too tough, and then he got to come in here and tell me how I'm not tough, and then he got to end up in the bathroom with the other guy lotioning him up. It's weird shit, you know. So again, we're gonna drop a moment of silence before the music for Don Alejo. And again, I appreciate y'all. Appreciation to you, Pete Never. Tomorrow, maybe we do a members only live. And maybe we do a public fight live or vice versa. We'll see. But you know, I appreciate y'all. We had a nice crowd tonight. As much as the haters want to fucking say, I don't even like the word haters. These cucks. Much as these cucks want to talk about it, we had a good night tonight. A lot of viewers. We got 83 likes. It was a good day. We growing. All right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great night. And we're gonna do this moment of silence, and then we're going to get out of here. Shout out Young Jizzle. He says salute to Chicago. All right, Young Jizzle. I had to make sure Young Jizzle knew I'm the Loteria King in Chicago. All right, hosted many successful Loteria nights, and I'm gonna come to Texas and do a Loteria night out there, man. One of these days. Salutes. See also Junior, act right, you'll be good. Absolutely. All right. So boom. What we got here? We got restlessness, and we're gonna go running aware. And we're going to do this after this moment of silence. I'm going to throw my hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I done thrown the links out. All right. I done checked the trolls. Y'all done checked them with me. We done had some good conversation. We enjoyed our evening. To everyone on the playback, hit the like button, please. For those that are able and can support the channel on that level, hit that super thanks. And boom, we'll go from there. All right. I'll holler at y'all in the Discord. Everybody, enter at your own risk. Where can I send you Geraldo Villarreal's testimony? Vincent Lopez, are you on our Discord? Let me throw you our Discord link, man. This is the best place to put stuff in the content suggestions that gives me a place to go find things quickly. If that doesn't work for you, we'll figure out something next time. Maybe I'll set up a Shy Ill Reacts email after all. I didn't want to, but maybe I will. Because you got to understand, trolls they everywhere. They in all my inboxes. They're everywhere. People think I just come here and it's just a little 3-hour live and it's over now, man. This shit is, and I have other lives. I am a working actor. You know what I'm saying? I am an MC that when he feels like it still makes music. You know what I'm saying? That's the mission I was getting to in life, to be able to do the shit that I felt like doing. That's the fuck I'm doing right now. So that I can do more shit that I feel like doing. So the rest of you nut huggers, come on, man. Go start a channel and shut the fuck up. Or run up. Those are the two options you got. Stop talking about it. Have a great night, everyone. If you ain't going Mimi's or partying, go to Discord. Salutes. Ain't nothing out there partying, just a waste of money. and a bunch of drama. Salutes. All right. With that said, let's give Don Alejo our moment of silence, and we'll go from there. Salutes. As a matter of fact, yeah, we're going to do it. Here we go.
Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. They over the hilltop, I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot, they'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop, they'll kill us right here. Living in death's den, run through the best winds, storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in, whatever gets us over, whatever helps us win, whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids, as long as they get through it, don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you, I'll take all that death gives. I'm into this war ends, in memory of dead friends. Hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome, nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt, fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Show me a safe place, does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare every time you can get. What you can't get is real love and fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stone now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. The illness is prevalent, natives malevolent. Hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye, say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rise. The sun mean what when it's blinding your eyes? Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz. The satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more. The passion of how we smash what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than just sage. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Hanging from a thread till you dead. Cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed. She getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale of fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep parts. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, a soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I'll survive, find this lands for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence. Dare you to say something, no sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving.
Put him in a fucking bench, Mike.